20 years timeout. You've been sentenced to
No!
a life sentence of timeout.
I don't like the wooden corner chair! No! Please! Save me! Save me, everybody! Please save me!
Excuse me.
Please save me! I'm alive in the corner.
It's still called the NFL pregame show with bets, hot takes, and banter.
It doesn't. I just looked at it.
Oh,
It says
the
NFL award show and
description
season
is-
recap.
Allow me to edit.
It might be on Twitch. I don't know. I don't know the rules, man.
On
don't.
YouTube, it's the description.
You're the description. Oh.
Ooh, damn.
Oh.
Damn.
I got served in the corner.
NFL award show and season recap.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they saying? He's got the idea, love.
Award show and regular season recap is live now.
You gonna this rate? You gonna miss Vanderbilt beating the booty cheeks off Mississippi State.
Oh, I am gonna miss that game probably. I'm gonna miss the first half of it.
Or maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Let me go grab a pretzel real quick. And
a pretzel?
We will get
just one pretzel?
Yes, a pretzel and a glass of water.
One pretzel. Like one small rolled gold pretzel is what he's gonna go grab. It's gonna be the tiniest pretzel you've ever seen. That's what I would have thought. Because I was not thinking warm pretzel. Because I had pretzels earlier. That being said, that's probably what it is. This took a hot. Actually, this didn't take long, but it was a time crunch. That time crunch was freaking crazy. Crazy time crunch. As it were. I'm gonna be out of water already with the way this is going right now. I'm already gonna be out of water. I'm not gonna be able to drink any more water because it's all gonna be gone. And then I'm gonna be sad. Then I'm gonna have to resort to non-water. And that's not awesome. It's not great. Personally.
Hello.
What? That's not a pretzel.
In that corner. Whoa.
So wait, you did,
already.
but
what you have?
Oh, you have pretzels. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought you said pretzel, so I thought, oh, it's gonna be a warm pretzel. But then I thought, what if he comes with just one regular pretzel and just eats one, and then it's done, and that's it.
It was pretzels plural. I do I would like to get back into big pretzels though. You know.
Did they fall off for you? Were they not doing it?
Too much salt. They gotta re-salt them.
Nah, I don't think they have enough. I think a lot of the times I get pretzels, they never have enough salt.
Nah, bro, they're like the saltiest things in the world. You ever get a pretzel at a ball game?
Yeah, but I still think they're not salty enough. I like salt, man.
Damn, bro.
It combines with all the salt that's already in me. So like I need salt to counteract the salt, you know? I'm a salty sea creature. I'm like Patrick Starr, but I'm like Patrick Starr, but if you hated him.
I could never hate Patrick Starr. And
yeah, but
you gotta watch out for cholesterol, man.
Nah.
All that salt.
Nah, dude.
Oh, I've also got some.
It's not like my family has a. It's not like my family has a history of diabetes. It's not a thing.
That's true.
It was a joke. They do.
Yeah.
My family does have a history of. It's like, oh, thank goodness you don't.
Like, oh, we're so lucky.
Oh man, we're so lucky that we have diabetes in our back. You know how it is.
Philip White, would you
Oh,
like to run the intro for this episode?
fine if I have to. Welcome in, ladies and hold on, that wasn't good enough. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is January 7th, 2025, the first podcast episode of the new year. We had our first primetime pregame episode of the new year. This is the first podcast episode of the new year. It is episode 13, which is either super lucky or super unlucky. I never remember. But because the NFL season is wrapped up, playoffs are about to be upon us, which we will be discussing this weekend. But it is time to get into the awards of the season. Who deserved the awards? And these are not your traditional awards. We're gonna have some traditional. We'll have like our MVPs, our Defense Player of the Year, that kind of stuff. But we are going to have some interesting awards that we have worked together to create that should be very entertaining and very fun to hear. We have, as you can see, Joy Taylor and Skip are locked up for their lawsuit allegations. I see Jay is their special guest presenter, Tyreek Hill's firstborn. I am. I'm actually Tyreek Hill's firstborn.
Shout
Fun
out
fact.
Tyreek Hill's firstborn.
I know I don't look it, but he started pushing them out early. He had me. I was born when he was 8 years old, so clearly he was pumping them out early. But we're excited for this.
Philip White's father.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I gotta hold on. Let me get my camera. Camera feels like it's not focusing correctly.
Yeah, get your camera locked in.
That looks better. That looks a little better.
Heck yeah, you wanna
But
get these awards rolling, Philip White?
yeah, sure. Let's
Can we
start.
get an official list of awards first?
Nah, I don't think so. I think we should just go one at a time because we all have. We'll explain as we go. I think it's better it stays mysterious.
Okay, sick. All right, first up, we've got the best player, not MVP, but the best player. I'm pretty sure my slide is first. Did you unhide all of your slides?
Oh, that's a good call. You might have to make sure that hold on. I don't even know. You didn't do any of yours. So
oh, I didn't unhide any of mine. Shit, yeah, I was hiding mine so you wouldn't see.
I'm not looking. I promise I'm not looking. I'm just hitting unskip. I'm 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 hitting unskip.
Are you unskipping all of them?
I'm hitting unskip. I'm unskipping all of them. As any of the ones that I see that have not been unskipped. Unskip. Unskip. Unskip.
Uh-huh.
Unskip.
Mm-hmm.
Unskip.
Uh-huh.
Unskip.
Uh-huh.
Unskip.
Uh-huh.
Unskip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Unskip. Unskip.
No.
Unskip.
I wonder what's gonna happen next.
Unskip. And unskip. Okay, they're all unskipped. You're just gonna have to reset it, I think, and then we can get into it. They should be all unskipped though.
Okay.
So you'll have to escape and then start from the beginning, and then they should all be as I said.
Full immersion. When I refresh this page, I'm gonna hide this slideshow super fast.
Right, exactly. That's the play. That's the play. I agree.
Over these
Sounds
slides.
about right.
All right. Bringing this back up. We're here. We are ready to roll. First
Jay
up,
says I'm hiding mine just like the Asian kid in my chemistry class. Thank you, Timothy Chang. Jay, shout out Timothy Chang and shout out Jay. Jay is here to Jay. I think you're gonna like some of these. I think you're gonna be surprised by some of these interesting awards we have laid out.
Yeah, Jay, you're gonna be a fan.
So I'm excited.
So, for me, the best player. I'm pretty sure mine is up there before yours. For me, the best player, Lamar Jackson.
Year.
He might have been statistically the best quarterback this year. Yeah. But was he really breaking any records? I mean,
he had the most rushing yards for a quarterback.
But like
I
over
think,
the
well,
course of
like
his
of all
career,
time.
and not
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
season, not in a season, right?
That's true. That's true. Okay.
So give me Saquon Barkley. This guy.
Okay.
He's the best player, in my opinion, from this season. I mean, third best rushing season. Oh, wait a damn minute.
Oh shoot, I missed
I
one.
deleted my slide that had all the stats. But yeah, dude.
Yeah, we know what the numbers are, dude. I mean, 2,005 yards. I don't know if it's the third. There's some that are technically better, but getting 2,000 is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, there are only 2 seasons better than this one. This guy was doing video game type moves. He was doing backwards hurdles, stuff that you can't even do in a video game, literally. And yeah, for that reason, dude, he rushed for 255 yards in one game against the Rams.
That's true. That game was pretty nuts. Out of nowhere. Big ol' Mr. Saquon.
Like, when I was jotting down on a week-to-week basis all of the top performers from every team from the previous week for the pregame shows, every week, it was, I think, yeah, Saquon rushed for over 100 yards in 11 games this season. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I jotted down his stats, I was like, damn, he had a freaking day last week.
He definitely balled. There was a lot of, I mean, especially because last year they had like DeAndre Swift, and he goes to Chicago, and he's kind of booty now, kind of not as good. Saquon comes in, and I don't even think he had 1,000 yards with the Giants last year, and just doubles his total. That's well done from Saquon. Definitely a good pick, Taff, a good pick for the best player of the year. I can't go wrong there. Jay was saying, the offensive line speaks for itself. He had a lot in his tank, well deserved. I completely agree. That offensive line allowed Saquon to hit his holes with ill intentions for opposing defenses.
Dude was a machine this year. Poor Giants fans too, man. I saw this clip of this guy talking about how he simultaneously saw Drew Lock like run in for a touchdown, and he's like giving his all on this play. And that touchdown was the go-ahead touchdown that kind of secured the fact that the Giants weren't going to get the number 1 pick. As Saquon, at the same time that he was seeing this play, he saw Saquon Barkley crack 2,000 yards in his game. And, you know, sometimes, you know, like as a Jets fan, it can be sad as a Jets fan. I don't know. They're equally as being a Jets fan and being a Giants fan are equally as terrible in different ways.
That was, yeah, I think you sent me that clip of doing that. Of him just going, you know, of Drew Lock having like the 7th best game of the century by any quarterback, like this century, and then Saquon breaks 2,000 yards. That's gotta sting for all Giants fans. But hey, on the bright side, you know, you have a top 3 draft pick. It's not ruined. The way I see it is, don't tank. Okay, nobody likes Drew Lock. You don't even like Drew Lock, and you're not a Giants fan.
I hate Drew Lock.
But the whole thing is, you know, I don't tank because then, you know, anything could happen. Like Stroud was supposed to be, remember when the Texans I think won a meaningless game, and then they won a meaningless game against Indianapolis, lost the number 1 pick, and then the Panthers took Bryce Young. They got CJ Stroud. And say what you will, he's been struggling this year, but they're in the playoffs back-to-back years. While Carolina is still, the future looks bright, but I don't know. It's, you know, you're hoping Bryce Young can keep up this momentum.
I'm pulling for Carolina, man. I have all the faith in the world in Bryce Young. He's gonna ball. Jay said, "Oh, us Giants fan." Jay, you're a Giants fan? Oh, I feel for you. Us Giants fans saw it on Hard Knocks offseason. We were pulling hair out, screaming at the TV to offer Barkley a contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you not offer him a contract? Also, how do you not bolster your offensive line? I don't know what they're doing, man.
How do you pay Daniel Jones, man?
That is true. I think that answers the question of how do you not bolster your offensive line? But like, also, Daniel Jones, did they get that money off of their books when they released him? The Giants?
I doubt it. I'm willing to like hard bet that I doubt it.
And their
I mean, they
quarterback
probably did
play.
in some aspects, but definitely not like for next year. I think he's gonna eat some dead cap. I don't know the numbers, but that's gotta having that much money take up your salary cap to just the Viking now who is the Vikings backup quarterback
Mm-hmm.
is wild to me.
Y'all ready to watch? I hope Sam Darnold will be okay in this imaginary injury. But are y'all ready to watch Sam Darnold go down with an injury, and then Daniel Jones will lead the Vikings to the Super Bowl to beat the Chiefs? Uh,
That would
uh.
be kind of crazy. That would be kind of wild.
I
Well,
need.
it could be. It's not gonna.
But back to the Giants, dude. Their quarterback play. Let me know if you disagree with this. Their quarterback play has easily been worse and more inconsistent since they released Daniel Jones. Why? Why did
Why
they do that?
release him?
Yeah.
Um, Look, they should have never signed him, but the reality is there
What else
needed
did they?
to there need to be a change at some point. I guess that was the evaluation. Daniel Jones is just not playing well, and they went with Drew Lock to see if they get something more. Wait, Jay saying wait, Texans beat Colts, Giants beat Colts. The Colts are a Scooby Doo villain. In what context would the Colts? Why would they be a Scooby Doo villain? Am I missing a reference here? I feel like I should know.
I feel like it might be because the Colts are like they are a team that barely made the playoffs, but they lost to the Giants and the Texans.
I would have gotten away with it. Selling kids. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you, Drew Locks. I would have snuck in.
That is true. Wow. Colts really could have made the playoffs if they didn't lose to freaking Drew Lock.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, that is true, right? They would have. Well, no, because Denver would have won, but
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, also, yeah.
so close.
Screw the Chiefs and screw Denver for creating the most anticlimactic end of the regular season. Like, man, get Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Like,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it louder. I'm gonna say it louder for the people in the back. Should have beaten New England, week 1.
they
Should have
should
beat
have.
New England.
They should have. But,
Should have beat New
man,
England.
man,
Should have beat New England.
I think you're scared. You are scared of Joe Burrow.
Scared of
That's why
what?
you don't want him in the playoffs. What?
Scared of what? That defense? That atrocious defense?
Obviously not the defense. They have the worst
Got
defense in
me
the league.
shaking in my
But
boots.
oh, come on, man. Joe Burrow was like third in the league in pass yards or something. Or was it first? What was it, Phil?
Should have beaten the Patriots. Shouldn't have started 4-8. Like, dude, that's how teams work, man. You have to play good for the majority of this year, not be trash for 3/4 of it, go on a winning streak, and then be like, playoffs, playoffs. We're gonna get into the playoffs.
Man.
You know, like, come on, let's be real here.
I mean, yeah, they had a rough start to the season, but come on. You're telling me that it would be more fun to watch the freaking Broncos play the Bills than Joe Burrow play the Bills?
Oh, I didn't say that. I'm just saying if you want to get into the playoffs, win your games.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's a very fact of the matter statement. But man, I'm going to miss Joe Burrow. I'm not going to be able to watch him for the next 9 months.
Good. Good, because I didn't want to.
I do.
Well, I guess I win here.
Philip White is scared of Joe Burrow.
No, I just don't. Cincinnati's a trash organization. They should feel trash. Bengals are bad. Are dog water franchise, and they should feel like a dog water franchise.
Why? Because they didn't do anything with
Because
their
okay, you want to know something? You want to know something? Do you know how long it took? You know how like teams install like indoor practice facilities? You know how long it took Cincinnati to do that?
How long?
They did it 2 years ago. Everyone else had one for like 10 plus years, probably longer. So
That's
I'm
pretty
not
wild.
like bro, the owner is like a billionaire, like all owners, but he doesn't like spending money on the team that he bought to make better.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're still having this conversation about if Jamar Chase is gonna get paid. Like, dude, come on, figure it out. Like in Cincinnati's, like remember when they drafted Carson Palmer? They had Palmer in 03. We were like really little, but Carson Palmer when 03 left Cincinnati, and he cited how trash the organization was. And I wouldn't doubt it if Joe Burrow tries to do the same thing.
I don't think so. I think Joe Burrow is gonna ride for Cincinnati, man. How many years
If
does he have on his
Jamar wants
contract?
out, if Jamar somehow finds his way out of
He's
Cincinnati,
not
Burrow
going
will.
to. Him and Joe are homies.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. The Giants QB play, Jay said, the Giants quarterback play has gone downhill since the benching of Eli Manning by McAdoo. Yeah, that should have never happened. When they benched him for Geno Smith, oh, that was
Yes.
not that was so unnecessary.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. That really, when McAdoo came in, that was when it started going downhill. When Coughlin
McAdoo
retired.
got them to the playoffs. McAdoo got them playoffs year one. It was, I think, the second season was terrible, and then he benched Eli to like break like his start. I think he had like a starting streak or something. Like he had like 200 consecutive starts or something, and he benched him for one game. I think it was against the Raiders for Geno Smith, and it was like Geno didn't even like play significantly better, and then they just went right back to Eli, and it made no sense.
That is pretty strange. I don't know. Maybe he just needed a break. Eli did.
I don't think I don't think he did.
Mm.
I just
Jay
read.
also
I
said
just read
you
that.
can watch Joe Burrow on Mondays. We all know he's Cody Rhodes. Who's
He
Cody
does.
Rhodes?
He's a wrestler. He does look like Rhodes. You know, Cody Rhodes also looks a little. He got some Homelander in him, probably just because he's blonde. He got like a big chin.
He's got some Homelander in him. Let me check this out.
Just the way he looks. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, because he had like remember Burrow had the Eminem cut. He had like the
When he bleached his hair. Oh
yeah
wow, he does
yeah
look like Cody Rhodes.
exactly
He's
yeah.
like a young Cody Rhodes.
He's a, he's I don't know, yeah, he definitely is a young. I was about to say old, but I'm like, oh yeah, Cody Rhodes just would be an old Joe Burrow then. That's what that would mean. Man, all right, hold on.
Yeah, he
Let
has
me
a
get
young
my
Joe
best player
Burrow.
out there.
Oh
Let me
yeah,
get
yeah,
my
yeah.
best player out there.
Yeah, let's do this.
So we got we got Phil's best player, and I gotta tell you, man, I got a heater here. You gonna go to the next slide? Because it's not
Yeah, yeah. You ready? You ready?
because mine animates in. You see, I threw some sauce on
Oh,
it. Yeah, see
nobody. Your best
this.
player is nobody. Oh, never mind. I see. I see.
No,
I
you
see.
just bro, you click. Yeah, so
Oh, pretty
if you could
fancy, Philip White.
go ahead and
Oh
click again.
man, yeah, the
Look at
same best player as
that.
me.
We did have the same because I'm just look. I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
I listen. I know. I'll say this: Saquon was incredible this year. 2000, like just stunting all over your former team's really impressive. For him to dominate the way he did for the Philadelphia Eagles in a year where going into it, the Philadelphia Eagles were likely to, struggle. Like people thought, like a month in, they were 2-2, and people were like calling for Sirianni to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was what it was calling for, and then it just doesn't happen because Saquon just balls out, and the Eagles just keep winning games and winning games and winning games. I think Sirianni owes Saquon his job, as far as I'm concerned.
Saquon did save Nick Sirianni. Also, yeah, like coming into the season, I mean, there were a ton of question marks for the Eagles. Like they lost what 7 straight games to close the previous year, and it was 7 straight losses, right?
Uh, I believe so. Well, no, it was like 10-1, and they lost like Yeah, I think it was like they finished 11-6, and then they lost in the playoffs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Mm-hmm. And
and that wasn't awesome.
yeah, I don't know about you, but like coming into this year, I was not a big believer in the Eagles. I thought that it was going to be, I don't know, something mediocre. Mediocre at best. Honestly, part of me
Mm.
thought Saquon was a little washed, to be totally honest. I mean, like what's going on with the Giants. That was what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
the Eagles are the Eagles are maxing relaxing now, thanks to this guy, Saquon Barkley. All right, we ready for the
And
next
now
one?
they balling. Yeah, I think we can roll on into the next award, which is not the best player, but rather, I believe it's
The
the MVP.
the most valuable player with an emphasis on valuable. Oh, I forgot that mine doesn't animate him. Um,
Yeah.
but my most
No build
valuable
up.
player, it would be Joe Burrow had the Broncos lost and allowed for the Bengals to make the playoffs. Because
Had the
Joe Burrow, he was
Broncos
playing his
lost.
ass off, man. But, I mean, you come into this, oh, Jay says, Saquon wants to thank Primetime for the award. He wants to thank his incredible offensive line, his magnificent Cavs, and lastly, Joe Schoen for making him an Eagle. Woo!
I love it. I love it personally. You're welcome, Saquon. We'll send it. We'll box it up for you. It'll be like a little mac and cheese present, you know? It'll be
Mm-hmm.
a little It'll be like one of those mac and cheese craft arts you can hang it up on your wall. It'll be from us.
Yeah.
Personally.
Next time we'll fly you out to the award show so you can be here in person.
Trust me,
Um,
my ability to penmanship stuff when I write on like the little mac and cheese art, it's gonna still look like it was done by a 6-year-old. So that's my writing skills have not improved since then. So
that's gonna be
very excited.
fantastic, dude. I bet Saquon is so excited.
He should be. He should be. He
But,
deserves to be.
but yeah, like I was saying, I mean, if the Broncos lost and Joe Burrow's crazy efforts led to a Bengals playoff appearance despite that horrible defense that they have, Joe Burrow would be my most valuable player with an emphasis on valuable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy was balling. Jamar Chase got the triple crown, and who's got to get
I
the
like how
ball
you're
more?
talking about Joe Burrow still when you gave the award to Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like they could be co-recipients, but like they freaking Bo Nix
Wow.
had to rain on Joe's parade. Um,
No, the Bengals rained on their own parade. They
the
were
team,
4-8. They
the
were 4-8, brother.
yeah, but like,
They were four and
I
eight.
love to see a
Blame it. You
valiant
want to blame
effort.
anybody? Blame the Bengals.
I'll
Ain't
blame the
no
Bengals defense because
sure, but that's still on the Bengals for being 4-8. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Beat New England. You had New England, which was very, very winnable.
yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad. But Josh Allen, I mean, he's my MVP. Um, I mean, you were coming into the season and, not Baltimore, geez, Buffalo still doesn't have a clear wide receiver one, really. And people were like, oh, how's Buffalo going to do this year? Is Josh Allen just going to be, is he going to have a down season after the departure of Stephon Diggs? And then he comes in, balls out, carries the team to the 2 seed in the AFC. Josh Allen is my most valuable player because without him, this team goes from, well, what are they, 14-3?
No,
13
they're
and 4?
13-4, but because they lost the last week of the season, but they didn't
Oh,
really
no.
need to win the game.
Yeah, because of that guy, Joe Milton. He was balling out.
Joey Milton.
Joey Milton, the best to ever do it.
Gotta love my boy Joey Milton.
But yeah, the Bills are 13-4. Josh Allen gets them 13 wins and 3 losses, essentially. And if you take Josh Allen off of this team, oh my gosh. They are like
Yeah, we
barely 500, if that. Barely
Yeah,
500
we'd somehow
out-bats.
see we'd somehow see the Dolphins winning the division. That's crazy. Can
Wait,
you
oh
imagine
yeah,
that?
we could have been looking at the Dolphins winning the division, and the AFC East probably would have been the worst division in football this year without Josh Allen. So, shout out to Josh Allen. He was cooking.
He's gonna be cooking this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Big weekend. God, I'm so excited for the wild card. Gives me that Christmassy feeling.
Josh Allen sends a shout out to this is Jay. Josh Allen sends a shout out to Shamik Moore. The crazy fans of Buffalo and his teammates couldn't have done it without him. Honestly, yeah. The the Shamik Moore part for sure. You gotta send some flowers out to Shamik Moore.
Yeah. Shout out Shamik
You know what?
Moore.
Send him a bow and arrow and a Kate Bishop costume because that's who Haley Steinfeld plays in the MCU. And she can, and Shamik can play dress up. He can pretend.
Yeah,
He can put on like a
get
doll.
him a Haley Steinfeld body pillow signed by Josh
Oh,
Allen.
God. That's so messed up. Make it also like you have to construct it like it's a Lego kit. Like you break it up into a little bunch of pieces and say, "Put this all together. See what it comes out to be. You follow the instruction." Oh my gosh.
That would be wild.
Then there's the matter of who I have for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, there are a lot of good candidates out there, but in all honesty, there just isn't anybody quite built like the Winter Soldier, number 17, Josh Allen.
Oh,
This
man.
guy is the MVP. When he plays, he accounts for 80% of his team's offense. His main receiver leads the league in drops. Like, this is James Cook keeps touchdown vulturing him. Cook doesn't even have 1,000 yards. Josh Allen's legit. I know you can talk Lamar all you want, but Lamar's got Derrick Henry. Lamar's got John Harbaugh. Without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens would probably be fine. Without Josh Allen, the Bills are basically the Jets. Let's be honest. The Bills are like the Jets. They would have Mitch Trubisky at quarterback, or even if you gave them like some other quarterback, if you gave them like even Justin Fields, this team's not nearly good enough. If you gave them Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, you're without Josh Allen. I'd even argue some of the great quarterbacks would not be able to represent the city of Buffalo the way Josh Allen does. But he is my pick for the most valuable player.
Yeah, well said. I don't think there's any other quarterback in the league would be able to represent Buffalo the way Josh Allen does. He's such a great fit. You look at this guy and you see Buffalo, New York. He is just
exactly.
He's the king of the North.
They're the Kings of the North. Well, they play in the AFC East.
Well,
The
yeah,
Kings of the East. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Northeast.
The King of the Northeast. The King of New York. The King of New York.
He is the king of New York. Now that Zach Wilson's out of there.
Zach Wilson was never the king of anything.
Josh
be honest
Allen
here.
Finally got to be the king of New York after he.
I went into before we move further. We got to now discuss this Zach Wilson thing. How did you like Zach? Like, I remember one game that really bothered me with Zach Wilson, where it was like a 10-3 game. I think New England won on like a special teams return touchdown, and he's like, they ask him like, "Don't you like? Do you have any words to say to your defense? Do you feel like you let your defense down in this game because they only scored 3 points?" And he just says, "No."
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, bro. Like that would have made me really mad. I don't know. That's what my quarterback's answer is.
That made me really mad. That made the defense really bad. Some people on the defense talked about it. But then he apologized to the defense, and after that, he was a star in the media. He was a golden boy in the media.
A star? Ain't no way he was a star in anything.
Yeah, he's a good guy. His teammates liked him.
Man, dude. I still can't believe we both have Wilson jerseys of Zach and Russell for our respective teams. And that's still like that's crazy, dude. Like, that's what we have as our jersey.
Jay says Zach
he says
one friend you don't introduce to dear old mom. For real.
No, you don't. You keep him far away. You make sure he's got a hazmat suit on.
Yeah, paper
Jay also
bag
says
on his head and her head.
with dignity, class, and flaming tables, the Buffalo Bills way. Yes, Jay. It is the Buffalo Bills way. You burst through those tables. I want to do that. If I ever go to a Bills tailgate and it's Bills Steelers, I will buy into the Bills culture. I will break a table. Or break my back, one of the two. But I will attempt to break a table. I have to. I have to give it at least a try. That's the thing I find, that when you go to a road game and it's not... I've never been to a road game, but if I were, I would want to ingrain myself in that team's culture. Just a little bit. Just like, hey, think I could break a table? Think I could get in there. I brought my own, I want to try it. It looks fun.
My own. Can you guys show me how?
I brought my table from home. I don't need it anymore. All right, what's the next award? I actually don't know. I don't remember the order. We're going to have to...
The next one is the
Defensive Player of the Year. So we're going to have to see. I don't know who's first, but we'll find out. Oh my gosh. Get this man off my screen. No.
Garrett. I mean, okay. There are some parallels between the narrative of Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year this year and Lamar Jackson winning MVP this year. Because last year, they both were not deserving of the award they won. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year when he had, what, 5 less sacks, 6 less sacks than TJ Watt?
He wasn't even top 5 last year in sacks.
Yeah, Myles Garrett wasn't even top 5 in sacks last year, and he got the Defensive Player of the Year award.
I'm curious, what's your justification this time?
Well, I mean, for this year, it's because he has so many sacks, and he's played so well. Like...
Brother, no.
Brother, yeah.
This ain't it, I'm sorry.
It totally is. I mean, you can
not when you
TJ Watt all you want, but like, man.
I don't even have Watt as my award. I don't even have Watt winning mine. I don't have Watt winning Watt. I don't have Watt winning mine. I don't have Watt winning mine here. That's number 1. Number 2, he doesn't even lead the league in sacks this year. Like how? Like I have a principle. I have a principle of.
He's in second place. And
so he's in second, but you don't care about the guy who's in first at all.
Because the guy that's in first is a big fish in a little pond. If there are any sacks, period, on that Bengals defense, they're going to Hendrickson.
He's the only guy that's worth double teaming. He's picking up the same. I can't believe you. That means it makes it even more logical. That makes even more logical sense because then he's gonna keep getting the double teams and the chip blocks and the checkdowns. Like, bro.
No, because I mean, it didn't translate to anything, man.
What do you mean it didn't translate to anything? What are you talking about?
The defense is terrible. And,
oh, really? Do you not notice the Cleveland Browns record?
I mean, but Myles Garrett, he is a dog, man.
And so is Trey Hendrickson.
All right. Let me show you this.
I can't believe this, dude. Even over Pat Surtain, too. Like, that's crazy, though. Nah.
Pat Surtain.
This ain't it, dude. This ain't it.
It totally is.
This legit is not it. He doesn't even have 15 sacks. I say, if you want to win Defensive Player of the Year, get 15 or more sacks. That should be the benchmark. That should be the benchmark. Get 15 or more sacks.
If he had 15, you would have been like, oh, if you want to win Defensive Player
ain't no way.
15's get 16.
Ain't no way. 15's a roundish number. It's like a normal ass number. To be winning Defensive Player of the Year and not getting 15 sacks, which is less than a sack a game, is still wild to me. And this team was garbage record, so it's not like his sacks were having any other impact the way you say they are anyway. And if you want to go Defensive Player of the Year based off of statistics, it's Trey Hendrickson, and that I'm going to spoil it. That's who I have. That's who you're going to see when you load up the next screen. It's not Watt, it's not Surtain, it's the guy who leads the league in sacks.
I watched a fair amount of Browns this year. I watched a fair amount of Bengals this year. I saw Myles Garrett. When I was watching their defenses, I was saying, damn,
what
Myles
Browns
Garrett
game did you watch?
Everywhere, more than I was saying, damn, Trey Hendrickson is everywhere.
Trey Hendrickson statistically leads the league in sacks. He also has more pass breakups than Myles. Myles literally only has 1. Myles never gets his hands up in the air and swats down passes. He ain't even the best run defender in the league. That this year has gone to TJ. But again, I don't have TJ as defensive player of the year. This is crazy behavior, Taff. I don't know what you doing, glazing kilometers, centimeters, millimeters Garrett out here. Like, get him out of here. Get him out. There's no way he should be getting defensive player of the year this year remotely, and he shouldn't have got it last year.
I mean, he shouldn't have got it last year. Now,
and he doesn't deserve it this year.
Now he's actually having a
No,
good
he doesn't.
season. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. It's the exact same season. It is literally the exact same season. It's the same freaking numbers. Go look at last year's numbers. This is insane. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
His numbers this year are better than
oh my gosh. Why don't go ahead? Pull them up. Pull up the stats. I'll pull them up right now. I'll pull up Myles Garrett career stats, and you're about to get absolutely spit roasted. That's insane,
man.
dude.
I think you might.
You know why you're saying this? You're saying this because you know it'll make me mad. That's what you're doing. 100%. That's exactly what you're doing.
No.
101 trillion%.
Myles Garrett.
Oh, really? Sack total. How about this? Sack total? Oh, dead same. Forced fumbles, less this year. Pass defenses, less this year. Like, that's every stat. That's every important stat for a D lineman.
I think he's just really good, man.
So what? He didn't have the best year among D linemen. It was Trey Hendrickson.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Yeah,
Trey Hendrickson has had more sacks in 2 straight years, more than him.
But
unbelievable.
Myles Garrett, he's
unbelievable.
He's got aura, man.
Oh my gosh, bro. The Gen Alpha lingo is coming out. That's what you need.
You're
doing this. See, this is what I said. I said you picked. That was solely to upset me. That was solely to upset me in every metric. In every metric. That was solely to piss me off. I know, because you said, wow, Kirby Joseph should be in defensive player of the year. That I would have understood. I would have understood Kirby Joseph getting 9 interceptions this year. But Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett?
Ew.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my gosh. That's so wild.
But also, I mean, yeah, Kirby Joseph was up there. What was all this yapping about Pat Surtain being defensive player of the year about? I mean, I looked at his stats.
Best corner in the league. Best corner in the league right now.
What, passes defensed?
Based on passive defense and based on the yardage totals that other receivers have put up against him. Look at his game totals against receivers. He locks them up. Like, he's locked up a lot of good receivers this year. That's why it's like, kind of remember when Revis won it? Everyone was like, look at all the yardage that Revis is holding these receivers to. That's same kind of thing.
Interesting.
Well, I gotta read what Jay been saying. Just aim for the middle. Jay says, just aim for the middle, don't overjump. Oh, for breaking the table? That makes sense. Yeah. I'm not an expert in breaking tables, but I like it. And then Myles thanks his anger management therapist and would like to share the award with Mason Rudolph. No hard feelings, bro.
Shout out Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Myles Garrett committing straight up assault. Straight up assault on a football field.
Oh, he committed straight up assault?
You don't remember that? Remember when he ripped off Mason Rudolph's helmet by the face mask and smacked it over his head?
Yeah.
I was at work when that happened. I was at work and I was coming out and I was like, what? Okay, we're losing. And then I got like, my dad's like, did you just see that? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And it was Myles. I saw the clip of him yanking it off and hitting him on the head. I was like, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that. Did he get suspended for that or anything?
He did. He did get suspended. I think he got suspended the rest of the year.
Oh, that's good. What year was that? Because I remember hearing about this, but I didn't see it.
Ben got hurt that year. I think it was 2019. 2019. I think it was 2019. That sounds about right. Because it was Mason Rudolph starting.
In my small era where I wasn't really paying attention to the NFL, I didn't get back into it until like 2021.
Bro got walloped.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, man, Myles been on my hate wall. And we all do.
That makes sense. You know, I kind of want to revoke my Myles Garrett.
Oh, now you want to revoke it.
I don't rock with that. He doesn't seem like a good person. You know, it's Kirby Joseph. Not
okay. You see now you changing your pick. All right, that's fine. I'll allow it. I guess. But you want thin ice, man. You want thin ice.
Ah, man.
Anyway, I already said who mine was. I said Trey. I already said who it was. It's Trey Henderson. Leads the league in sacks.
Such a happy little guy.
I know. He's just happy. He's like a Bengal I don't have to hate because he looks so happy. He leads the league in sacks. He also had 17 last year. He's been consistent. He's been incredible since the Bengals have signed him over from New Orleans. He's just that good. He's a good pass rusher, man. You got to respect him. And I mean, leading the league in sacks this year, I'll give him his due. I'll give him his due.
Indeed. Sounds like he's very deserving of this award here. Next up,
he looks so happy too. He looks so proud to win it.
Yeah,
Most glazed by the media. He does actually a little bit now that I say it.
Yeah. Most glazed by the media, we've got Lamar Jackson for me. I mean, it was like every time I opened up my phone, when Jay said Miles has grabbed his helmet, we cannot control him. Watch out! Yeah, Miles.
Everyone, get down! Get down!
Miles better not hear that I revoked his Defensive Player of the Year award because he will be pissed.
I was running around, dude. Oh my gosh, it's so slick on this floor. So it's like when a cartoon character runs in place, like, and it makes like the.
It is like
the noise. Yeah, the.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, dude, most glazed by the media. It's like every time you would open up your phone over the course of this season, you would see Lamar Jackson. And they would be like, oh my God, look at Zay Flowers with the 13-yard catch.
Oh, man.
And I will say, Lamar had a great year, man. He had a great year, but I feel like it was just a little bit overhyped, especially after, like, I hate that the NFL gave him MVP a year ago when he was not deserving of MVP. It should have gone to CMC. And now he has an actual MVP season, and it's like, no, this is not reflective of how good he is as a player. And yeah. And win or lose, we're gonna keep hearing about Sir Lamar come playoff time.
Yeah, that's gonna be like, imagine, like, and you know what's gonna happen too. Like, if he plays poorly, they're gonna blame his team, and if he plays great, they're gonna give him all the credit. Like, it's crazy. Most of the time, most quarterbacks get a lot more criticism, but like, it feels like Lamar, like, always, like, come on, man.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, basically what you were just saying. People act like what he's doing is a lot more impressive than what he's doing. I will say, you know, he's had an impressive season, but it's just like,
yeah, bro's getting glazed by the media, you know.
He's getting glazed.
My award for the most glazed by the media is it's actually a very similar, close, not exactly the same guy. My most glazed by the media is also Lamar Jackson.
Yo, no way!
Yeah, I can't stand it. Every time I see like RG3, who by the way has just straight up bias because he's former teammates with him, like always talking about how you can't discredit Lamar based on what Josh Allen or what his teammates are. And I'm like, I totally can, because Derrick Henry has 1,900 yards this year. Like, that's a lot of yards to be accounting for, and that makes it so much easier for Lamar to do his job against. Of course, every quarterback, I think, would throw for 15 more touchdowns if they had Derrick Henry as the running back. You saw what Ryan Tannehill was doing with Derrick Henry as his running back? Bro, let's be real here. Let's be honest. Ryan Tannehill looked good with Derrick Henry as his back. That's an incredible feat for a running back to accomplish.
I did something to my neck. But yeah. Derrick Henry definitely inflates his quarterback's numbers. And Lamar has been an inescapable figure in the NFL world this year. Jay says Lamar thanks the media, he thanks the coaches, he now thinks it's time to go get some endorsement deals. T-Mobile, he runs faster than Patrick.
If Lamar Jackson gets into a T-Mobile commercial, like, you know what would happen? You know how what is it? Kai Cenat is in the T-Mobile commercial with Snoop. It'll be Lamar Jackson in Speed. It'll be I Show Speed and Lamar Jackson in a T-Mobile commercial, and they'll run a race,
I could
and it'll
see
be
that.
faster when they have like a T-Mobile.
You know, as much as it pains me to say, I want to see that. You know, like I've never hey, Mr. White, hey,
I should have known he would have done
what?
Yeah, he just came back from a walk. He's covered in snow.
Was that
But
from? Is he back from his hike from the other day?
no, he came back from that. That was just no.
Wait, I asked him.
He's just was outside. No, I think he came back from work or something. So that was a little taste of Mr. White for you.
I bet that was the same hike from a few days ago. I
It was,
believe that big old backpack.
Yeah, he did have a big old backpack. That is true.
Probably had like 3 days worth of food in there. I think it's the same one. But yeah, Lamar Jackson, inescapable this year. Let's see what's next. Most glazed by the fans.
All right. Well, hold on. I had to relaunch. I had to relaunch the stream for me because I wasn't seeing it, but now I see it again, so we're good.
Okay, cool. All right,
Most glazed by
glazed
fan.
by the fans, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I had some trouble picking this one. There were a handful of figures.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there were a handful of figures that I wanted to put up, and then this is what I came up with. TJ Watt. I mean, I looked at his stats for this year, and I mean, people talk about this guy like he is the best. I mean, a year ago, he had some great numbers. People talk about this guy like he's just amazing. But, I mean, only 11.5 sacks this year. How many tackles for a loss? Where's my telephone at? Oh, there it is.
You're going to get some words. You can get more words when you got about Miles out of this. You doing this, you really couldn't have thought of anybody else. Because I'll tell you right now, you know one fan who loves him truly, and that's me. This is not recipient of how NFL fans have been acting this year.
I think so.
Ain't no way.
I hear about TJ Watt a lot, man.
Yeah, because he's very good. He's a very good pass rusher. That is a truthful statement.
He just.
So let me guess. You looked at the sack number and you looked at nothing else?
No.
You didn't look at tackles for loss.
Tackles for loss number.
Okay. So you didn't.
Fumble recovery.
Oh, so the 6 forced fumbles. That's higher. You know those 6 forced fumbles. You know those batted down passes. You didn't take into account any of those. No.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I did.
Because you wouldn't be saying he's the most glazed by the fans if you were.
But he is glazed by the fans.
I wouldn't say most glazed.
I flip-flopped between two. Okay?
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Who's the other one? I'm curious.
It was TJ Watt and the other was Brock Purdy.
Okay, yeah, you should have picked Brock Purdy. I don't know what to tell you.
Because, yeah, Brock Purdy, I mean, I feel
you making it sound... You're making it sound like his season that he had was bad. Because it wasn't. It was a good year. Number 2, so like this is what you expect him. This is the thing with TJ. If he doesn't lead the league in sacks, people think it's glazing. But he's led the league in sacks 3 times. You know who's never led the league in sacks?
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, bingo. There you go. There you go.
In your head.
Congratulations. But that's legit. That's a legit stat. And I still hear people on like PFF, Pro Football Focus, like it's king. Like the stats that they just thought of in like 3 seconds, they made up. They got like pressures and they got hurries. And they're like, what's the difference between a pressure and a hurry? And they'll like have to figure it out on the spot. Like they couldn't tell you right now. They'd have to figure it out because they didn't even plan it out that much. By the way, if you are a PFF fanatic, TJ's #1 run defender this year. So, But no, now it doesn't matter. Now PFF doesn't matter when it's TJ Watt. It only matters when it's Myles Garrett and anyone else. But you know what? Whatever. Say what you want. Bro's legit. You watch him on the field, they're always chip blocking him. They're always stopping him. He gets triple teamed almost every play.
He is a
Every play.
dog. I'll say that. He is an absolute force. But I feel like he is glazed by the fans a little, like.
Yeah, dude.
But no, he's not most glazed by the fans. I'll give that to
Oh,
Brock.
really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Here we go. You ready? Because Jay, I think, is actually right. Because I don't have this player, and I totally should have. I didn't think about this. Jay says TJ thanks his mom, his brothers, he thanks the fans. He's surprised on receiving the award since he isn't dating Taylor Swift.
Is that some foreshadowing here?
I wish it was. I wish I had remembered that all that had happened. I just made a short on it recently too, so you would think I would have picked it, but no. Guess who I have as most glazed by the fans?
Who?
After already picking him for being most glazed by the media.
Oh, Lamar Jackson! Wow.
Lamar Jackson gets both, and I'll tell you why. Every single post I have seen of Lamar Jackson, even if it's not Lamar, it won't even be Lamar related. I'll see these three. I'll see an M, I'll see a V, and I'll see a 3. MV3. MV3 Lamar Jackson. MV3. He's getting a third MVP. He's the MV3. And I have never been more annoyed in my life about a chant that has ever been happening. If he gets it, here's what I hope what happens if he gets it. If he gets it, I want him to be in the awards place to claim it. So that way you know, oh, he wasn't at the Super Bowl for the again. And now we have 3 MVPs. Now you kind of look like a doofus because you a regular season quarterback.
That is true. That will create a different narrative on Lamar Jackson. I saw this picture.
But I think Jay makes a good point. I think Travis Kelce should have been one. Because I think that is so true.
He definitely should have been up there. Travis Kelce. I think I saw this stat. It was like, here's a list of players that have won 3 MVPs, and it was like, you know, your Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. It was like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And by the time they won their 3rd MVP, they already had a Super Bowl under their belt. And it was like, it showed how many. Tom Brady
really
had like
tough.
5.
Drew Brees has 3 MVPs.
I don't know if it was Drew Brees. Let me look up how many.
Because I know he has 0. It's got to be someone else. It's probably Aaron Rodgers or. Aaron Rodgers I know has 4, but he didn't. I don't think he won MVP before he won. But regardless, like, you're winning so many regular season awards and this great rushing quarterback, and then you get into the playoffs, and then you look like complete cheeks. Like, even in Week 18 against Cleveland, he had completed less than half of his passes. Like, he was not the reason they won that game. I would argue Derrick Henry was the reason they won that game. That's why Derrick Henry ended up getting finished the season with 1,900 yards. Like, there is clearly a member of this offense that feels way more like a catalyst this year, and it's number 22. And I'm curious to see, because if they get into, because this is what happened last year. They started last year in the AFC Championship game, like, oh, we're running the ball, right? And then they weren't able to run it. They ran it like 5 times. And they're like, Lamar, win us the game. And then Lamar just folded like a lawn chair. And not like those lawn chairs that are difficult to fold. The lawn chairs that like just immediately collapse in. Right? This immediate fold. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. Like, why are we
disappointing.
Why are we talking about this guy like he legit right now?
For real. That was such a disappointing game, man. I remember the sadness that fell over the room when it was determined that the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl again. But,
I remember the sadness when the Lions lost in that NFC Championship game. That was just as sad.
That was like, I enjoyed the Super Bowl a year ago, but man, that was the worst possible outcome in those playoffs.
Yeah, it was a bad outcome.
Mm-hmm. Jay says, TJ thanks his mom, his brothers, he thanks the fans. He is surprised on receiving the award since he isn't dating Taylor Swift. And then Jay says, Lamar Jackson thanks the fans, he thanks his teammates, he wants endorsements. Taco Bell, he is more relevant than Devontae Adams. That's a fact.
True. Taco Bell makes a lot of sense too because when he gets to the playoffs, he's gonna poop his pants, just like what happens when you eat Taco Bell.
Exactly.
So it works. All right, those are the glazed categories. What's next? Ah, the goofball of the year.
The goofball of the year. This is maybe.
So what was goofball of the year? What was like the raw definition? Because I think I nailed it with my pick.
The definition is like this guy had, it had a bunch of goofy plays, some plays that would make you laugh, something that yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just a goofy
Ooh,
guy.
go ahead. Let's see who's up first.
For me, maybe there's some recency bias here, but Kenny Pickett, this guy, he came in for Jalen Hurts and had the goofiest play perhaps ever.
Oh yeah, we all saw this. Yeet! I still can't believe that happened.
Like, what is bro
doing?
doing?
They still won that game, which is kind of hilarious. Not only did they win, they blew them out.
Yeah, that's true. They won like 41-7 against the Cowboys in that one. But yeah, Kenny Pickett gets goofball of the year off of that play, because that play, when I saw it, had me freaking dying.
That's valid. I don't disagree with that pick. Here's what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
For my, I think that's the next one. I don't know. My goofball of the year. It's goofball of the year. Yeah, that was one play, but there was only one guy who was the constant goofball of the year, and that's true. Mayo in his coffee, Will Levis.
Yeah, Mr.
Will Levis was 1,000,000% the goofball of the year. Starting week 1, like you could probably look up. Like I looked up, I think even for this, like Will Levis goofball stuff. And I saw him like the one where he gets down on his hands and knees against the Bears after throwing the pick six. He's like, oh, dude. Then week 2, where he has that play against the Jets where he's fighting hard to get in the end zone. He just shovels it backwards and he's like body's completely vertical. Yeah. Like and it was just this same thing week after week after week. There was like a new Will Levis meme. And that had to solidify him. Absolutely. Had to be goofball of the year.
Yeah, for like the first 6 weeks of the season, Will Levis was coming with some new wild ass play that happened.
It was not the fact. It was the fact that yes, it happened, but it happened every game over and over and over. And I just don't like. Some players have like one bad play. Like you point to Mark Sanchez, he has the butt fumble, right? You talk about like stuff like this. Where was? Oh my gosh, was it? I don't think it was Will. Someone in like the Texans or Titans game, kind of like dove for the goal line, and then they face planted, and then their body like arced. It did like an arc, and it just looked really, really stupid. I not remember
who this was? Dude, it wasn't Will Levis. It was Levis-esque.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm like, oh, that's like a Will Levis play. Like now, like it's got like the name. You Levis. That's a Levis moment. You know, like it's got that. That's a label.
Patriots? Was it Bailey Zappi?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Ooh, speaking of Bailey Zappi, him throwing that pick interception to Michael Pierce, I had that as an honorable mention for play of the year. The 350-pound lineman getting the interception, like that was crazy. Titan. Thanks.
Jay says, Will thanks the creator of Mayo. He thanks the chickens who lays the eggs for Mayo, and he thanks the Colombians for picking the beans for his coffee. Yeah! Shout out to chickens. Shout out to Hellmann's, and shout out to the independent country of Colombia.
The independent country of Colombia. I don't remember what it was. Oh my gosh, I gotta go. You know what? I'll look it up for a second. But that was pretty wild to see. Just that in of itself in week 18. Like, whoa. Ain't that is something. That is a thing. That happened.
His body was not supposed to be contorted in that way.
Oh, it was a Texan. Oh, it was Davis Mills. It was
Davis
the Texans quarterback.
Mills.
Yeah, he
Yes.
falls forward. I'm like, dude, that is such a Will Levis like moment. Like Will Levis smiled when that happened. It's like, oh yes,
I've
finally
been
one of
watching my
these is
tape.
not me. Yeah, I don't know how much more we'll get of Levis next year. I think we might have a new goofball of the year next year, but
I hope we
Levis'
get.
season will not be one to be forgotten soon.
I hope we get more Will Levis. Offensive Dog of the Year.
All right.
So this is not like the best player or the most valuable player. This is for the underrated guy. The guy who really was putting it together out there, man.
My guy's not underrated. I'm gonna be real, but I think he still fits the criteria of being an offensive dog.
Yeah, I feel like if he's a dog, he's just a dog. For me, my offensive dog of the year, Bryce Young. This guy, I'm rooting for this guy like hell, man.
Bryce Young.
Like, you look at the numbers from a game-to-game basis, it's like, you think it's less impressive than it actually is, but you got to look at the film on this guy, man. He, obviously, we know he had a massive upswing as the year went on. Let's just look at this.
Oh, you got highlights.
Mm-hmm. Before we look at the highlights, this guy almost led his team to a victory over the Chiefs. They lost 27-30. Xavier Leggett was fingertips away from beating the Eagles.
That's true, yeah. He was on a tear. He was leading them.
Mm-hmm.
He was being a leader.
Indeed. Check this out. Oh, what? Okay.
Here. Oh, play action. Okay. Oh, he's scanning. Oh, look at that.
Got him.
Right there to Xavier Leggett. And we got Bryce. Look, he looks right. He looks left. He adjusts. He throws it downfield.
That's his most impressive throw.
Oh. He's looking right. Immediately finds his guy. Boom. In stride. We got Bryce again. Bryce looking left. Down left side. Oh, that should have been caught. But that was...
Because that was a good throw.
I don't know about that one. That one just looked like a tough coverage.
That was kind of a poor decision.
Oh, yeah. That one, though, that was a tight window throw. That's tough to make. Mm-hmm. But he was definitely having... Oh. And then even like when we talked about towards the end of the year too, that game in Atlanta, he's cooking. He had like 5 total touchdowns, something like that. It might have been 6 total. Like it was a wild game. That was to basically like, I know Tampa won, so it wouldn't have mattered, but he beat him. Like Atlanta was trying to get in the playoffs. He's like, yeah, I don't think so. We're gonna make sure you're not getting in the playoffs, and I'm gonna cook you.
Mm-hmm. He cooked in that game against Atlanta. That was an absolute banger. I just love seeing Bryce Young play well. When he's playing well, he is genuinely fun to watch. Also, you gotta feel for the Panthers. They have been through the ringer.
Well, now they have hope. Because Bryce looks legit.
Exactly. They just better not trade him like they traded Brian Burns or DJ Moore or CMC.
Hey, Bryce, come to Pittsburgh, throw it to George Pickens,
Come to the New York Jets, Bryce. It'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen.
Oh, my gosh. Everything bad will happen if he goes to the Jets.
No, we will fix him.
Bryce thanks Jay said, Bryce thanks the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and nobody else. Who talked to him? Somebody said, reach out, Bryce Young. Yeah, Rod Wave hit him up and said, like, Bryce Young, come talk to me. I don't know. That'll be like a Bryce Young, if he becomes great, feels like he'd be like a LeBron guy where he would just lie about stuff for no reason. Like, what did Rod Wave say to you? It'd be like, oh yeah, he said he really likes Big Macs. I don't know, something like that. Something stupid.
Dude,
is this my offensive dog?
This is your offensive dog of the year.
So my offensive dog isn't really a guy that you would call under, but he's 100% a dog because he's the Triple Crown winner. It's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase leads the league in catches, receiving yards, touchdowns, and I know he's got Joe Burrow, but he's also got like T. Higgins, who's having a good year too. So for him to do that with another wide receiver on the other side, he's been balling. I mean, he's had, I don't know if I would still, if I had to pick a wide receiver right now as the best one in the league, I'm probably still leading Justin Jefferson by a hair. But this year, Jamar Chase has been gangbusters. He's been unbelievable. He's a dog. He's a certified dog. We know what he is. Comes up, he shows up, does his business, does the work, and just wins fantasy football championships. I'm sure he won a lot this year.
Jamar Chase was fantastic this year. This was the first Triple Crown in how long?
Since Cooper Kupp.
Back
in 2021.
Okay.
So
still an amazing season. I thought it was longer than that.
Nah, but it was a very impressive year for Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Jamar Chase was freaking balling. Anytime I had to play against Jamar Chase in fantasy, I would be shaking in my boots. Him and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Now we've got
defensive dog.
The defensive dog of the year, Philip White.
I already know who this is.
Who's it gonna be?
It's gonna be Jesse Bates, isn't it?
It's Jesse Bates, baby. 4 forced fumbles.
I should have known.
1 interception, 1 touchdown, a fumble recovery. Every time I would watch the Falcons this year, I was like, damn, this Jesse Bates guy is everywhere. He just plays with such a ferocity. I love it. Very, very fun to watch guy. And, yeah. Love Jesse Bates, man. I am, this season I became a Jesse Bates fan. Wherever he goes over the course of his career, I will be following.
So, I agree. You know, the Bengals ever let him go. Oh, hey, sorry. I can't believe the Bengals ever let him go. Like, their defense got significantly worse ever since he's left, and he is a difference maker. I mean, he gets fumbles, he gets interceptions. He feels like the leader, you would say, of the Atlanta Falcons defense. It's not a great defense. It struggles to get sacked sometimes, but he's the leader. He's the guy that the guys look to give the speech, to get them hyped up for the game. My guy functions a little similarly, and I'm a little biased because the most recent game against the team that they played kind of played a lot into this voting.
Yeah.
But for me, this man, look, he's a dog. He was hurt for some of this year, and when he was hurt, this defense was struggling. But when he came back in the final week of the regular season to clinch the 1 seed for the Detroit Lions, he was absolutely everywhere, making tackles, leading the defense, keeping them cool, calm, and collected. Alex Anzalone for the Detroit Lions. Look at that man. Look at that man's locks. That man is a middle linebacker through and through. He is certified dog.
Yeah, Alex Anzalone, he was really playing his freaking heart out against the Vikings. I love a guy that, like, you can tell his ferocity for the game. It's fully on display on the field. And I don't mean, like, George Pickens ferocity. I mean, like Jesse Bates, Alex Anzalone ferocity. Like, if we had to make an NBA comparison, I would say Josh Hart or Manu Ginobili. Like, yeah, dogs.
Interesting.
Dogs. That's that type of ferocity where they just gritty. You know, they have that grit.
Gritty.
What?
But I've loved Alex. I've loved Alex as a player. I just like the long hair. I like guys who have the long locks, like Clay Matthews type of hair. I've seen it on Alex. I think Roseboom it was Roseboom for the Saints, right? Or no, Roseboom for the Rams. Rams. And then there's Andrew Van Ginkel for the Vikings. That kind of hairstyle. Those guys are all gonna be dogs. You know, they got that. They got that kind of fight. They look like rock stars a little bit, like those rock stars that look like they'll fight you. They'll go into the crowd and they hear you talking smack. They'll beat you up. Alex is I love watching Alex play.
Yeah,
I think he's my dog this year. He missed some
every
time, but he's a dog.
yeah, every NFL era got the middle linebacker who's borderline elite with really long hair. Jay says
Jay.
Alex thanks his conditioner, his father and mother for good hair genetics. Head and Shoulders reach out to you, boy. Yo, for real.
They should. They should all three of them. All three of them, and then Clay should be like the teacher. You have like a teacher class, and then they all in like a Head and Shoulders class commercial. And you could get Roseboom in there. You can get Anzalone and Van Ginkel, and they're all learning Clay Matthews. And that would be a sick commercial. I'd like to see that. That'd be a good Head and Shoulders. Troy Polamalu working with Head and Shoulders. Get on that.
Troy Polamalu is like the quintessential NFL Head and Shoulders guy.
Exactly.
Dude, if there was a best hair award, I feel like every 10 years you could hand out a best hair award. I feel like it was Troy Polamalu. Clay Matthews was kind of Isaiah Thomas, and Troy Polamalu was Michael Jordan. Clay Matthews, you had great hair. Troy Polamalu just kept blocking you.
Yeah, he's tough to compete.
And now Alex Anzalone, he's got the torch now.
Yeah, I think he's got the torch. Van Ginkel can kind of compete, but I'm looking at Anzalone, and it looks like he's me over a bit. He's got the locks going.
Yeah, this seems like Alex Anzalone looks like an outtake for when they were painting Jesus thousands of years ago.
He's a stand-in.
Yeah, he's a fill-in for Jesus. Shout out Alex Anzalone.
Jay also said Jesse thanks his father for making him a dog. Yeah, Jesse Bates. Yeah. The Jesse Bates thinking is next up on the award list. We got our backup of the year. All right.
I love my pick for backup of the year, man. It is I'm pretty sure, yeah, mine.
I think, is mine first? Who's first? Because I'm not sure. Just check.
Ooh. All right.
Is it me? I don't know. All right, well, whatever.
Actually, wait.
If there's no picture, then it's probably mine because mine's animated.
Okay, yeah, it's yours.
Okay, I guess I'm going first on this one. I feel like there's an obvious backup of the year, right? I feel like there's no real number one who can compete with this guy because when he came in, you could tell the energy was just different. And then when he left, that energy immediately went away. It has to be famous Jameis. Famous Jameis Winston came in for an injured Deshaun Watson, who was making everyone the Browns were not only did I already not like the Browns, they weren't even fun to watch with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I don't wish injury on anybody. Maybe you can wish it on Deshaun because he's such a jackass. But when Jameis came in, it felt different. It had a whimsical nature to them. They weren't gonna win. It's like when me and Harry and you play Rocket League. Like when Harry plays Rocket League, he has a whimsical nature, right? He'll be whimsical. For context, he plays Rocket League. He's not always gonna make the best play. He might score an own goal on accident, which is Jameis throwing a pick six. But the beauty is that he'll uncork a 70-yarder and it'll look unbelievable. And he'll convince you he should be starting somewhere. Jameis Winston just gave the Browns life and made them watchable and made them fun. It made them exciting. And I think that to me is what a backup needs to do. The team's not going well. You need to get in there and give them some life. I think Jameis did that at the perfect time. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see him continue to do that. But because I think if he was in that game against Baltimore, anything's possible. I think he could have maybe pulled an upset. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, man.
That's all I'll say on
I
Jameis.
think they took Jameis back to the bench and put him in for DTR simply because the Browns wanted a good enough draft pick. They were going to win too many games if Jameis stayed in, and they were already sort of out of that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, the vibe of Cleveland took a 180. I remember not once throughout the season had I looked forward to watching the Cleveland Browns until Jameis came in and I started looking forward to Browns games. And yeah, the interview's great. You didn't know what you were going to get with Jameis on a game-to-game basis, and it was the most exciting thing ever. You can't even, I'm gonna be totally honest about Deshaun Watson, man. I mean, I don't like. It's just even if he was enjoyable to watch this year, like it just regardless, it felt kind of gross watching the guy play. It's like God, this guy is so
Yeah.
boring to watch, and he's a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah, he's a fucker. He's not a good
alright.
person. He can go to the gates of hell. I'm
Oh,
convinced God intervened. Oh,
who was that? Who was that?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know. I didn't see it. My eyes were closed. I was blinking.
Next up, we got Tyrod Taylor, baby. That's my pick because on the season this year, Tyrod Taylor is. I mean, he only had 2 drives. Jay says, Jameis thanks Deshaun for getting hurt. He hopes you got the Asian massage coupons he sent after the injury. He thanks his teammates for
He's
rallying around
cooked.
him and the fans.
Shout out Jay, man. Jay always is commenting something that's gonna make me laugh almost every without fail.
For real, dude.
98% success rate. That's well done. Thank you for being here, Jay.
Thank you for being here, Jay. You're the GOAT. He sees how hard he fights.
He sees how hard he fights. Lord, I was just
Lift him
blessed to
up.
play. Lord, I'm just blessed to play in some snow.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Like in a post game after he beat the Steelers, he was like,
Yup.
"Man, this is what movies are made of." I feel like I'm on NFL films right now. Like,
Me when
I
I'm
love
trudging
Jameis.
my feet, sloshing through the snow.
Mhm. And before that, he's
Oh
walking
my
off the
gosh.
field like, "I'm gonna order a dub off of Amazon, and it's gonna be here by about 9:30." It's like, uh, Jameis,
Oh my
I
goodness.
really hope more than maybe any other athlete that Jameis does some form of media after he retires, because I've gotta hear from that guy, like on a
Yes.
podcast, play by play, halftime, whatever. Like, oh, it's just so fun to hear talk. Um, but my backup of the year is Jets legend Tyrod Taylor. This guy, 2 drives, 14 points in about what 6 minutes of play. He came into the game when we were down 40-0 against the Bills, and I mean he didn't lead us to a win. He had about 6-7 minutes left, but in a game where Aaron Rodgers was not able to get the team into field goal range, he threw 2 interceptions, less than 200 yards. In about 6 minutes, Tyrod Taylor comes in, throws 130 yards, gets 14 points for the Jets, and on the season, it was his only showing of the season, is throwing like a 132.1 passer rating.
He did have a great game. I'll give you that. I don't know. I was going for the year vibe, you know, like I'm a big year guy. Tyrod played
Oh,
great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
I'm a big year guy too. I mean, I'm definitely a little I'm definitely a bit biased, but like you said, Jameis changed the vibe. When Tyrod Taylor came into the game, when I was watching that game, it was the most blissful portion of the season for me since like week 3 when the offense worked against the Patriots. It was like the only game when the offense worked. And
That's
Tyrod Taylor came in and it was like, wow. Like,
wow. Is
this
this what
is
offense feels like?
beautiful.
Is this what it feels great.
This is what it feels like to have an elite quarterback.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it even looks like with the trophy, it looks like he has a little crown on his head.
Mhm.
So he's crowned the backup of the year. Get a load of him. It looks great.
He does
Crown
look
my king! Put
maybe,
him on!
maybe he'll next year if he's the starting quarterback, he can have a run at he can take a stab at best player or most valuable player.
Most MVP Tyrod Taylor. That'd be
Mhm.
actually hysterical.
I wonder, that's a whole different conversation, but I kind of want to see Tyrod at QB1 at least for a couple weeks to next year. It's like, come on, man. We voluntarily self-destructed this year. The Jets did.
Yes, this is true.
like so you look at them and it's like, if you tried to suggest that like the Dolphins who have Tua or whoever, if you try and suggest that Tyrod starts for them, it's laughable. Yeah. Yeah. But like, what do we have to lose? Next year is a placeholder year, a filler year for sure for the Jets. So yeah.
You never know, man. You just never know. Sometimes it's when you least expect it. Jay also says Tyrod thanks Aaron Rodgers. He thanks his Madden rating. Without that, he knows he wouldn't be a Jet. He thanks Brick Johnson and wishes Brick brings him back next season. He'll be running. He'll have his due. I think that there's a really good chance that Tyrod is the starter next year, based on what I'm hearing in Jets camp.
Yeah. Oh, also, man, this might just also need to be another, in that like Jets as a whole discussion. The Jets completed an interview with Rex Ryan today, which,
oh my gosh,
at first I was like, no, do not do this.
No, don't do that.
But in 6 seasons with the Jets, Rex Ryan got the Jets 40 wins. How many wins do you think the Jets have gotten in the past 10 seasons?
Let me do the math.
Since Rex
it's 5
Ryan
this
left.
year. Since Rex Ryan left, probably like 10 when you're in there. So that buffs it for sure. I'm going to say it's probably around the same.
In the past 10, we've gotten 56 wins. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it's 6 or 4 seasons. Was Rex Ryan with the Jets for 6 seasons or 4 seasons, Phil?
He was there till 24. Yeah, it's probably 6.
6? Okay.
I guess it's 6.
Yeah, and I mean 20% of those 56 wins came in one season. It was during the 10-win season. And I mean that's roughly 20%, 56 wins. But dude, I mean our defense was great. Rex has grit. Yeah, I said it. Rex head coach, Sanchez quarterback coach. Yeah, I remember when you said that.
No, it could work.
I don't
That'd be
know about
fascinating.
Sanchez at quarterback coach. I have no idea what Mark Sanchez is up to these days, but it's like it boils down to what do we have to lose?
I think he's a commentator.
Oh,
I'm like 97% sure he's a commentator. I never can tell in what game because I just don't. His voice is not that recognizable for me, but I think he is a commentator in the games. But I could see it, man. I could see Rex Ryan, but also at the same time, it feels, I don't know. To me, it feels a little unserious. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're higher. Like, if Rex Ryan wasn't on the media for the last several years, would you really be going to Rex right now? Like, would that likely be what's happening?
I mean, if we didn't fire Saleh, I don't think we'd be looking for another head coach. I wish we kept Saleh. But
wait, Jay just said if you remember, Rex has a tattoo of his wife in a Sanchez jersey. Ain't no way. I'm looking this up right now.
I had no idea. I've never heard that.
Ain't no way. I gotta see this. Oh, he totally does!
No way. I'm looking this up.
No way! Just Rex Ryan wife tattoo. Holy shit. That's hot. That's hot right there. That's crazy.
Rex wife in Sanchez. Yeah, wife Mark Sanchez tattoo.
Just Rex Ryan wife tattoo. You'll probably.
That is.
Do you see that? That's crazy, dude. I
That
gotta see him
is
flex that.
that is. Oh
And you
wait,
know who they're gonna have at quarterback, right? You know who they're gonna bring in at quarterback, right?
Tyrod Taylor, baby.
Zach Wilson.
I'd be down.
Zach Wilson.
I'm
Zach
down.
Wilson. Here we go. Bring him back. We're gonna send a second round pick over to the Broncos for Zach Wilson.
No, not a second rounder. A first, of course. No.
Yeah, first round pick. Yeah.
But yeah, like
No, just send
Rex
Devontae
Ryan.
Adams to Denver for Zach Wilson. He'll take that.
I'm kind of down for that. Get that guy out of here. Get anybody affiliated with Aaron Rodgers out. But the other thing with Rex Ryan that I find very intriguing is his passion, his grit. I mean, this guy he doesn't want to just be the coach anywhere. He wants to be the coach of the Jets. There was this like slight monologue he had, and it was done, it was written. It wasn't like a video or anything. But he just like wrote about how much he loves the Jets and wants to be the one to at least make them better than they are right now. Because it's embarrassing.
Pull them from the fire, yeah.
And
it is embarrassing.
It's I want to see Rex Ryan do it, but I'm unopposed to guys like Vrabel or Ben Johnson as well. But Rex Ryan, he is honestly my first choice right now to fill that void with the Jets.
I will say you definitely need a guy who's been a head coach to fix what's going on in New York. Because I think getting a coordinator is a lot. Because, like, a first-time head coach is going to have a lot of time, a hard time to navigate all that and, like, pull that team out of the fire. So, like, Vrabel or Rex is probably better than most coordinator jobs you can get out there.
Mm-hmm.
For, like, the coordinators you would get.
Yeah. We're kind of diving off topic right now, but whatever happened to Rob Ryan?
I don't know. I think, did he pass? I don't want to assume. Rob. I feel like he passed.
Oh.
No, he's alive. Never mind. He's the senior defensive assistant for the Raiders, right?
Oh, dang. They never panned to him. I mean, I also never watched the freaking Raiders.
I don't know if he's on the sideline. I don't know if he's probably not in. He's probably in the. Well, yeah, no one watches the Raiders this year, but that's where he is. For some reason, it wasn't him passing. It was their dad. Their dad passed a few years ago. That's what I was thinking. But no, yeah, that is. I mean, maybe bring him in as the defensive coordinator.
Nah.
Maybe bring in. Why not?
Rob Ryan.
The Ryan family. The Ryan family. Servat makes the Jets thrive. Come on.
When I was a kid, I remember, like I first started getting into football. I was born in 2001. I started getting into football in like 2007, 2008, and I just remember I liked Rex Ryan, didn't like Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan, I didn't like his vibe when I was a kid. Also, he was the coach for the Cowboys, or he was a coordinator for the Cowboys. Now he's the defensive. I mean, now he's for the Raiders. He can stay over there in Vegas.
I guess, but I mean, wouldn't it be like a Cinderella story?
It would, just like Jay's new comment. Rex Ryan becomes head coach. Fireman Ed comes off the antidepressants. It becomes a new day for the Jets.
Jets. Zach Wilson's also going to spend a lot of time with Miss Ryan. What if Rex? What if she gets a
tattoo, man?
What if she gets a tat of Rex on her with Zach Wilson's jersey?
Yo, I like that idea.
Also, I wanted to go back because there's another one that Jay said was funny. He said, not even when talking about Jameis Winston and like if he should be in the media, he said, not even media. Dude needs to be the crazy black father on a sitcom. I could see that.
Yeah, I like
that. What's the...
I hope they just don't let Jameis have all of his lines be improv.
Yeah, don't give him lines. Just let him go out and say things.
Yeah, like Jameis.
And you do it all in one take. You do it all in one take.
It would be Jameis Winston as Jameis Winston with like, Timothée Chalamet as Jake,
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Are we ready for the next award?
I'm down, yeah.
All
Also,
right.
Jayez, Rex Ryan. Ooh, I forgot Nolan Ryan.
Nolan
There's
Ryan.
so
I've never
many
heard of Nolan
Ryans.
Ryan.
So many Ryans, dude. They're everywhere.
I remember John Ryan. He was the kicker for the Seahawks for a little bit.
Yeah, he was that punter. Remember you had that one play where he got his nose bloodied trying to hurdle a guy. I was like, that's not
Yeah.
smart. You're a punter. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Man, good
Oh
old
man,
John
we are.
Ryan.
Dude, I am enjoying this award show.
Me as
Guys, come
well.
on, chat. Drop a like if you're enjoying the award show. This
Drop
has
a
been
like.
this has been very fun. It was also stressful to make the last 3 hours prior,
For real,
trying to
dude.
get them all into the same slideshow. But we got it. All right,
We had a
what are we
slight
on next?
technical
What's the
hiccup
next one?
like an hour before we started. I had to after getting it all set up, I had to step away from the screen and eat some dinner, recalibrate. And now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys,
Gotta
if you like what we're
recalibrate.
bringing, like, subscribe. We're here every Tuesday, Sunday, and other random days of the week. But Tuesdays and Sundays are guaranteed.
I don't. I wouldn't say Tuesdays are guaranteed. Sometimes we skip.
That is true.
But we'll get into more of a. We're gonna get into much more 2025. I got a feeling.
Indeed. Well, over the
Woohoo.
holiday, we were consistent up until the holidays. Also, I was planning for my move to Philly. Also, random side note, this is my last episode in this setup. Going to Philly
What?
tomorrow. I'm moving to Philadelphia tomorrow.
Wow.
I've already got all my Eagles gear, so I don't have to look at the Jets ever again. Just kidding.
You got a Kenny Pickett jersey, didn't you?
That would be
You
hilarious.
you sentimental little fella.
That would be hilarious. But speaking of Kenny Pickett, worst play of the year. I don't know whose is first.
I'm gonna guess it's yours.
This is yeah. Okay, so
What is this play? What was this? Oh, I think I know.
yeah. Wait, let me make sure this is. So this is last week from the Jets.
A lot of years have happened in the last month, I see.
Yeah, but like this play, freaking ridiculous, man.
All right, we got the end around to Devontae. Chuck it back to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers out. So he throws it back to Devontae, and ow! Kablamo! that is pretty funny. All right, there we go.
Like
that's so comical.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. The Kenny Pickett play was competing with that, but I had to give them both some shine. And like that might with a
I wouldn't doubt if you did lose a bet, Jay.
Wait, who lost a bet?
He says, "Philly, good lord, you lose a bet."
Oh,
but he did congratulate. He did not congratulate.
I thought he meant Philip White.
No, he's referring to you moving to Philadelphia.
Oh.
But so he said, "Nah, congratulations on the move." So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm very excited. Very excited. Big things will be happening. Because
he's gonna be talking to all the homeless people out there. That's what you're gonna be.
I will be talking to a lot of people out in Philadelphia. If you see me out in Philadelphia, come say hi. I will talk to you.
He'll bite your finger.
People, I want to talk.
He'll bite your finger off. He bites people, guys.
I do bite.
Be careful.
I do bite. If you scratch my head too much, I bite.
What are you, a cat?
Yeah, and a dog who just has a problem with
a cat and a dog.
Yeah, I'm a mix of both.
He's a cog.
Yeah. But yeah, very excited for Philadelphia. Going to be interviewing more artists, athletes, and making a name for myself. Homeless or parking? What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I mean, no, but like when we talk about the homeless people, because we were talking with one of our friends, Jamie. She said how many homeless people are out there. You talk to every single one of them.
Yeah, what was Jamie saying about the homeless people? Because you ended up telling her that I would talk to one of them and it would just not be good.
Because homeless people are different everywhere. People in Philly, like, A, they don't care about you, but B, if they will try to interact with you, and if you interact back with them, they basically have you on what's like a hook. So they'll just keep talking to you. Like, a lot. That's what she said. And then the thing is with you is I know for a fact that you will always respond to them every single time, and then you will continue the conversation, whether it goes well or goes poorly. And I'm convinced like 95% of the time it will go poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I mean, if they're not putting me on a hook for no reason. I'm gonna have to
Yeah, they're
stay
trying
on my
to get you.
toes. Gonna have to stay on my toes talking to those Philly homeless people. Jay says Philly is where I met my wife. Very interesting. You know, so many people I know met their wife in Philly. It's crazy. Or their husband. Like, dude. There's tons of homeless out there, and the parking situation is horrible. You'd be on that show Parking Wars if they still filming. Remarkably, thankfully, I'm probably barely going to be using my car. My apartment that I got has parking, which is fantastic.
That is big.
Huge stuff. But yeah, dude, Philly. You said Philly's where you met your wife. I have 2 sets of aunt and uncles that met in Philly. I have. I ran into I won't dox her on the show, but I ran into one of my middle school English teachers when I was working the other day. And I told her about how I was moving to Philly, and she said, I met my husband in Philly. So it's like, maybe I'll marry a homeless person.
You might grab one, get him off the streets. I'm sure they will love to sign those marriage papers.
Yeah, mom.
Take everything you got.
Yeah, definitely having prenup in that.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. All right, that was my worst play. Now, yeah. Here's the thing, my play. See, I'm a guy who prides myself on details, personally. This play is very detail oriented, and for me, there was a game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't think I have seen this in a long time. Now, I've seen it on occasion, but this was really, really embarrassing. So if you can show this play. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the play, if you click again, there should be a link. Click that, and it should take you to. I think it's probably gonna take you to YouTube.
Anywhere near Turpin, if you.
So hit him with this. This is.
Can help it.
This is so 4th and 27. They blocked the punt, right? Pause real quick. Yep. Bro, go back. Come on, cuz. Where's my tech? Where's my tech crew at? Right here. Block the punt, right? Pause. So, on a block punt, you have to understand a couple things. Number one, the ball's dead. Like, the second a Bengal player touches it, the ball's dead, right? Like, the Cowboys will get the ball back at that spot on the field. It's 4th and 27. 4th and 27, they're punting. And then, some Cowboy player, you can go ahead and resume, comes over here and tries to pick this ball up and loses it. And Cincinnati gets a first down and went on to win the game. And I'm sitting there I was sitting on my computer, I was watching this game. I was appalled on every level that you do not understand. Just don't touch it. Like, they always say, like, I think they have a saying, it's like, poison, poison, poison. Like, they'll have, like, a thing that they'll say to not touch the ball. Like, don't touch the ball. And bro touches the ball. Bro touches the ball like an absolute... And the thing is about these guys is, these guys can get cut. Like, CeeDee Lamb's not getting cut if he makes a mistake. Dak's not getting cut if he makes a mistake. Mike is not getting cut if he makes a mistake. Guys on the special teams, you make this mistake, you're fine. Straight up. You getting cut like 80 to 90% of the time if you do this. And this was so bad.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like, all you have to do is not touch it. You would have been fine. All you have to do is not touch it. You probably win the game. You probably win. I could not believe this play happened. Like, I was watching my screen. Like, I know there are a lot of bad plays, but this one really bugged me. Because all you have to do is not touch the ball. That's it.
That's a pretty bothersome one.
So, that was...
that's
my nominee.
We should have added another award that just gave us a chance to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Because, like, oh my god, why can't this...
How would we have made an award like that?
I don't know.
Probably just...
But, like, Jerry Jones, oh my lord, it's been tragic.
Oh no, it's still there.
There we go. Yeah, I was having trouble making the thing full screen. Jason,
I forgot about that too, Jay. Jay said, "Oh, this play on the Simpsons broadcast was hilarious because they didn't know how to animate it."
what was the
Yeah,
Simpsons broadcast?
this was the game. So this game was in prime time because it was planned to be The Simpsons. Like they did, like you would animate the game, and the players would be animated as Simpson characters. So when Jamar Chase was like running into the end zone, I think he was Lisa. I think they animated him as Lisa, and you could see Lisa Simpson like with the ball running into the end zone. And I was there like, dude, this is so goofy because they had to do it that way. I don't know why because they already had made the animation with the Bengals and the Cowboys players, so they didn't want to change it.
Uh-huh.
But it was so funny seeing that, and they couldn't figure out how to animate this travesty of a play that just happened.
Oh, that's great. I
My
gotta
gosh.
see that. Yeah.
But it was
Jay
so
said it
bad.
perfectly. The Jerry Jones Intelligence and Achievement Award, the Jerry Jones Greatness Award. Like that guy.
Right.
Over
Oh my god.
over the course of the offseason last year, made 0 changes. The season went exactly as expected. And then, people are more than ever clamoring for Jerry to sell the team or at least pass off the GM duties to somebody else. And then he comes out
He
and
refuses
says,
to do it.
yeah, he says, I didn't buy this team to not work the team. It's like, bro.
Bro, he's the
shut
only
hell
one
up.
that does it. It's
Yeah.
so hilarious. He's the only owner that insists that he needs to be the GM.
Yeah, and he took the
And it's
offseason
terrible.
off. Like, what are you doing?
He was like, hey, that guy Derrick Henry. Yeah, like there were 3 super high quality running backs they could have drafted, and like Rico Dowdle had a fine year. But if you're telling me you'd rather have Rico Dowdle, Josh Jacobs, or Saquon Barkley, or Derrick Henry, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like he had opportunities to sign both of them, and they're top 2 in the league in rushing, Saquon and Henry. Like, can you imagine? And he can't like. It's not like he has a boss. Like it's like there's nothing you can do. You
He's the
can't fire
owner.
him.
Like,
You can't fire him for like sucking. He's just stuck in that spot.
oh my god. Yeah, that is tough. Sometimes
Oh.
like it's things like that that make it feel not so bad to be a Jets fan. Or like I will say I don't even want to talk about the Jets.
Hold on, let's catch up on what Jay's got here. Aaron thanks the 200 hits of acid he took before the game. Devontae thanks the Taco Bell. That sounds about right. That sounds about right there, Aaron. On that, what does he call it? Ayuska. It sounds like a beer. Honestly, it sounds more like a beer than a drug.
I feel like ayahuasca does sound like a psychedelic. If it was Ayuska, that sounds like a.
Oh,
sounds like a
ayahuasca is
dark
actually
beer.
how you say it.
Yeah.
Okay, then that makes more sense. The way I was pronouncing it definitely sounds like a beer though.
I feel like Ayuska would be a dark beer.
You wanna have you Guinness or Ayuska guy?
I like Ayuska.
We got the Bengals thank the coaching staff. The play was exactly how it was drawn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how you draw that up though. 4th and 27, block the punt. Dallas is touching it. That's what's crazy is that's not even the first situation on special teams that Dallas has been involved in where that happens. Like they had the Leon Lett. I don't know if you remember. There was a Leon Lett play. It was against Miami. I think it was on Thanksgiving. Somehow it snowed that Thanksgiving. I think in Dallas, which was crazy.
Oh wow.
But the Dolphins are lining up for a game-winning kick, and they block the kick, and the ball's just sitting there. The ball's just sitting there, and it's stopped. It's about to stop. It's about to stop moving. The game's about to be over. And big old D lineman Leon Lett just slides in to try to touch this ball, and the commentators are hilarious for this. It's like, wait, someone touches the football here. It's Leon Lett! No!
How long ago was this?
This was, I don't know. I think this was the 90s, maybe. I don't know. It was.
You said it snowed in Dallas. Did they not have a roof on their stadium yet?
I don't think so. Because I remember that it was in a snow game. It may have been in like a different, because they played in Miami. Like I didn't think it'd be snow there. I would assume it snowed in in maybe it did snow in Miami. I don't know, but I assumed it would be
doubt
home
it.
game for
I
Dallas.
would say
But
that
it
it
did.
snowed more
I
likely in
vividly
Dallas.
remember. I vividly remember there was snow, and this was like it was so funny. Like you just watch the ball spin, and then because they zoom in super tight on the ball, and then all of a sudden this big D lineman comes in, like slide kicks it back towards the back towards it, and the Dolphins pick it up and get to kick the field goal again. They won the game.
Oh my god. Yeah,
I
that
think
is.
they won this. I don't know if the Cowboys, they may have won the Super Bowl that year, so like it doesn't get talked about enough, but it's so funny to watch.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my gosh.
remarkable that happened to the Cowboys twice. That's
That same
insane.
type of just special teams. And then remember when Jamie Foxx had to end a live stream because Jerry was talking player sizes next to him. Oh my gosh.
I
Talking
saw
about the sizes of players' penises is absolutely vile stuff.
that is
Like,
actually
how do
like
you
yeah, that like what? That is freaking weird, man.
do they measure that? Is that like a all across the league thing? Like
I doubt
they
it.
pull out and measure your dick.
In
Like,
what
dude,
world?
CeeDee's built different. And I'm like, like, yeah, he's a good wide receiver. No, like, he's built different. I'm like, why is that like ever? How does that even come up in conversation? Like, how is that like the conversation between Jamie Foxx and Jerry Jones?
Yeah,
That
right.
Jerry feels the need
And
to
like
talk about his own players' genitalia.
yeah, like you see like all these videos of Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is one of the best conversationalists like I don't know, in media. And how do you, Jerry Jones, manage to steer it to that strange of a topic? Like, I didn't. I saw a clip of this on Instagram, and I can't believe I only saw it once because that is just like remarkably strange. Like how
It is
you've
bizarre.
lived on Earth for that long, and you thought like yeah this is a good conversation topic. What a
I listen.
goofball.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Fucking
It's really big.
Micah Parsons. Oh God, you want me to call him up? Like,
We don't.
okay, Diddy.
Nice try, Diddy. All right, let's get to the next. We gotta keep it rolling here.
We
Been on the
do, we do.
Cowboys for so long. We
The
gotta get to the next award.
Kadarius Toney
Ah,
Award.
yes,
Ha ha.
the Kadarius Toney Award. I'm gonna have a little bias in my Kadarius Toney Award. I ain't gonna lie, but I think it's warranted.
Oh, I can probably guess who it is in that case. Yeah, for me, the Kadarius Toney Award. Before we announce this, it's named after the famous Kadarius Toney for having so many drops across games a couple of years ago when he was on the Chiefs, and yeah. So this one goes out to the brick hands wide receiver, the Butterfingers wide receiver. Jay says before we reveal this, Dak is built different, 5.5 inches, but thicker than a Coke can. Thanks, Jerry, but I was asking what it was like winning the
Whoa,
Super Bowl. Winning the
that's a
first Super Bowl.
crazy image. That's absurd. My God.
Wild. This is a certified Jerry Jones moment. Jerry Jones. The Kadarius Toney Award.
Yes. Back on topic. Jeez, I need to just like a spray can of just. I'm like, all right, there's that image in my. And keep in mind, it's a Coke can, not Pepsi. It's a Coca-Cola can, not Pepsi. Pepsi ain't built like that.
What a wonderful day to have an imagination.
Imagination.
All right, the Kadarius Toney Award. This is going to the brick hands receiver, the most bricked up receiver. Quentin Johnston, man. There was a game that I watched. I was playing against Quentin Johnston in fantasy the week that this happened, so I personally thank him for this. He had 5 targets and 4 drops in a game where the Chargers lost to the Ravens 30-23.
Yeah, that was bad.
legit could have been a better the outcome of that game could have been the Chargers maybe for all we know could have won that game if he cut his drop total in half. Because
that would have been big, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Quentin Johnston, get ready to learn XFL, buddy.
Yeah. Wong Dong Tigers, ni hao, ni hao. Then there is Kadarius Toney Award. Look, this is a little biased because it just recently happened, but I think it's warranted based on the pedigree of this receiver. I mean, it's George Pickens, bro. I watched that Week 17 game in disgust. Like, first off, let's start with the obvious. 3 drops. Just 3 drops on very catchable passes that he has hauled in multiple times before. Secondly, if you're going to drop 3 passes, maybe you shouldn't, like, be a whiny little bitch. Like, I don't know what else to say other than that. You're like, come on.
Wasn't he saying some, like, Deebo Samuel type stuff? Like,
he's always he's crashing out all the time. I think one of the guys I watch, Frank Michael Smith, he makes some stuff. He's pretty good overall. I saw him, like, Pickens was beefing with this guy. This, like, normal dude who just makes football. No, just like a dude, like a social media content creator. Like, he makes sports takes and stuff. And he was just beefing with him, like, actively in the comments, like, yo, come meet me in Pittsburgh, bro. I'm gonna, like, basically saying he's gonna fight him. And this is a dude who I think is married and has, like, it's like just a chill, normal guy. And Pickens is beefing with him over his takes. Like, that's crazy. And then in this game, like, the game you need, like, win this game, get some momentum going in the playoffs. 3 drops, absolutely, like, atrocious performance. And then watching, like, I don't know if you remember late in the game, like, Russell throws it deep to him, and Pickens is looking for the ball, and he just, like, lurches back, like, trying to catch it, and it looks so terrible on every level, and it disgusts me. Yeah, it disgusts me so much that it's still in my brain.
He low-key is a candidate for the fall-off award. I mean,
I don't think he fell off because he still put up similar numbers all year, but that particular game was so atrocious. Like, remember when he was hurt for, like, a couple weeks and we're like, oh man, we need him back. He's, like, a huge part of our offense. And then he does that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, go away. Like, I think there should be at least consideration, like, heavy consideration that he gets traded, if, like, to anywhere else. Because I'm not having another, like, this is starting to get very much Antonio Brown-esque, and you're not as good as him. Like, that's different. AB was actually a good wide receiver. Like, I don't think AB ever had more than 2 drops in a game ever. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's actually legit as a receiver. But Pickens is just a drop.
Yeah, George Pickens is NFL young boy. He doesn't.
Yeah, like, if you were performing at a high level, sure. Wait.
Yeah, it was a tale of 2 halves this year for him, man. In the second, I mean, I guess maybe the 4th quarter of the season, the past, he fell off. He's had a rough stretch of games here.
It hasn't been great, no, and it's been really upsetting to see.
He's been in that uniform form that the Steelers have all been in over the past, like, 6 weeks or so. It's very tough. Very tough. Jay says George Pickens don't accept the award because George Pickens didn't want to play that day. George Pickens is like Tyreek Hill. George Pickens wants out.
Honestly, I might want him out too at this rate. But he got one more game left to prove that he might be legit.
One more game left. Yeah, with that.
Well, he's got the playoff game. All right, fine. 4 more games. Jeez, Taff, I'll have that mentality.
I'm going to be rooting for
I'll have that mentality.
Man. Saturday night, man. Oh, I'm so excited for our pregame show. Oh, we gotta plan that out so we can reach out to D&E.
Yes. I would love to have him.
Yes.
And then JL says, Quentin Johnston don't like making excuses, but the QB was throwing too hard. He thanks you for the award, Heidi.
Yeah, you're welcome, Quentin Johnston.
Hey, Herbo, stop throwing the ball so hard.
Disappointment
The
of the
disappointment
year.
of the year. I have a
Oh
feeling
man,
I
we
know
might
who.
have the same thing. Yep, mine is the New York Jets. The yeah, I mean, come on. Do we
I
need?
don't know what can be said. The crazy thing is, I would say I don't know what can be said that hasn't already been said, but I feel like somehow there still is.
Yeah, it's just it's a never ending. It's an abyss of garbanzo beans. It
Garbanzo beans. Hey, don't disrespect garbanzo beans like that, man.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't so much mind being in a. I mean, uh, I would. I would though. Being in an abyss of garbanzo beans. Ugh. but yeah, the Jets. There was nothing to smile about this year, man. And we've talked about the Jets a whole lot. You want to give your thoughts? I don't really have much more
Well,
to say about the
I
Jets.
know what my disappointment of the year is. It's also the New York Jets. The reality is they've been atrocious. Every single thing that they've done has been really, really upsetting. They traded for Devontae Adams after firing their head coach. They fired their GM. Aaron Rodgers has been cheeks. Brees Hall hasn't been good. Garrett Wilson was supposed to be an incredible pick in fantasy. He was not. Like, the defense collapsed the second Saleh got fired. Everything was an absolute dumpster fire. And then all the stuff gets leaked about not wanting to trade for Jerry Jeudy because of his Madden rating, the fact that basically the front office, the guys that are in charge are two teenagers. It's so bad.
It is
Like,
horrible.
if there was, like those trash boats, like those barges that are just covered in trash. That's what the Jets would be, but the problem is, in order to be a trash barge, you have to at the very least be able to float. The Jets don't float. They're just a trash barge at the bottom of the ocean. That's what they're looking at. They have a hole punctured in the side, and like they're like Rigby in regular show when he changes his name to Trash Boat. They're like, dude, I just changed my name to Trash Boat, and he thinks the Jets think it's cool, and then everyone's like, Trash Boat, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard. You didn't really change your name to Trash Boat, did you? And then he's like, oh shoot, I gotta change my name. But like the difference is it's gonna take years for the Jets to not get rid of their trash boat rather than Rigby who's able to do it in a 7-minute episode. So
Yeah, the Jets are a sinking ship, man. It doesn't look good, but I have
let's not
faith.
say sinking, say what it is. Sunk. It's a sunk ship.
They are fortunately though, they can rebuild this ship. They have many an opportunity. I'm hoping they bring in Captain Rex Ryan. He's I feel like he will be able
Captain
to,
Rex. Dude, Captain Rex,
baby.
like the Star Wars show, like the Clone Wars. Captain Rex. The guy with the blue helmet? Oh, Captain Rex, yo!
Phil, what was your disappointment of the year?
Oh, click it, see what it is.
Oh, wow! Yeah, the New York Jets, they were just so disappointing, man. So disappointing. Jay says, imagine being friends with Brick Johnson. Quote, my dad says I need a job. All of a sudden you're working front office in the NFL. Yeah.
I wish. Honestly, I wish I could fix the Jets.
Yeah, I feel like we could do a better job than Brick Johnson and his son are doing. It's pretty redong.
His two teenage sons. Which, by the way, for context, Brick's like 70.
Oh man.
So for him to have teenage sons, he's got probably a trophy wife.
He was pushing it, yeah.
He had to take all the effort to make those sons. He put hard work in.
Dude, yeah, he put his blood, sweat, and tears into that. That took some effort for good old Brick Johnson. Fall off
of the year.
Also, it's another Jet for me. I mean, Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers. Man.
Oh, wow.
Like, dude. And I think we all understand why. But
oh, Brick is the team.
Oh, Woody is the dad. Brick is
Wait,
the
oh
team.
shoot, he named. Yeah, well, I thought Brick was just another name.
Yeah, I thought
Woody
Brick
Johnson.
was the name. It was a nickname for Woody Johnson.
No, who names again? I think we may have even mentioned this one point. Who names their son Brick?
Maybe he really liked Steve Carell's character in The Anchorman.
That's probably true, which is really stupid.
That is incredible. Like I think like Brick is probably my favorite character in The Anchorman. His character's freaking hilarious. But like the character is
Maybe
a
that's what he
dumbass,
dropped
man.
him on.
Like I wouldn't even name my dog after Brick. Like
Yeah. Like I was thinking like maybe he named him Brick because that's when they were in the delivery room, there was a brick in the room and he dropped his child on the brick. And then therefore that's his name now. His name is Brick. Because dropped it on a brick. That makes it's the only logical conclusion for like any of this. It's the only explanation.
Brick is an interesting name. You know, maybe I would name my dog Brick if I like. You know, I that's probably my favorite character in The Anchorman. But like, you know, I named my cat JR.
Yeah, that's true. But like, that's an animal. Like that's understandable to be like there are some names you give to like a pet, and then there are some names you just should not be giving human.
Oh yeah, I would not name my son or my daughter Brick. Actually, yeah. My son is gonna be Brick. My daughter is gonna be Brickette.
Brickette.
and
La Brick.
he's an old man. Yeah, La Brick. He's an old man who likes ebonics. Quote: "It's brick outside. Brick. That'll be a good name for a son." Yeah, maybe he's just a hardcore New Yorker, and it was really cold.
Oh, it's brick outside.
But oh, dude, you know what I really want to name my next dog, which I won't be getting for, you know, until I have a career and the space and the time. I want to name my dog Brunson.
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe Cam Matthews. Maybe Josh Hubbard.
Oh my gosh, brother.
Maybe Mississippi State.
That's such a random thing to be saying. Bro.
Come here, Mississippi State. Come here, Mississippi State.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
nah, ain't no way.
You're such a good boy,
ain't
Mississippi
no way.
State.
Ain't no way. This
Mississippi
guy will
State,
not stop talking about them. Holy crap, bro.
Mississippi State is 14th in the country in men's basketball right now. Been watching them since before I could speak. We're up 11 at halftime.
Yeah. Big deal. It's Vanderbilt, bro. Vanderbilt. Gosh.
Yeah,
it's
man.
It's
we're 14th
Vandy
in the country though. We beat Pitt by 30. We were up.
So what you're saying? You win in the tournament. So you win in the tournament, right? So you win in the tournament, right? So you win in the tournament. 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 Ain't no well.
Time will tell.
Because you're gonna lose the next two. You're gonna lose the next two after this.
We're up 11 on Vandy at halftime. We're playing Kentucky on Saturday.
Yeah, Kentucky's gonna cook you guys.
I don't know. Calipari's not the coach there anymore, and we got a hell of a team.
Kentucky's gonna cook you though.
Man, we'll discuss. I feel like next week, or at least at the latest at the end of the football season, we will bring full-on dedicated college basketball discussions. Because man, I have been loving this college basketball season.
Round one exit.
No.
Exit round one. Watch it happen.
They've actually lost in the first round of every tournament they've been in my life.
Round one exit.
But this is the year that the script is gonna get flipped. Phil, tell me, who was your fall off of the year?
So my fall off of the year was a guy who league in receiving last year and couldn't even crack 1,000 this year, and now wants to be traded. Give me Tyreek Hill for falling off the face of the planet. If you weren't taking CMC one, there were a lot of people who said Tyreek Hill should be going one in fantasy drafts. Bro, even when Tua was healthy, he was not playing up to par, and now he wants out just because it's his first season not in the playoffs. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
That's
diva
insane.
mentality.
That's wild. And I cannot believe to a man that Tyreek Hill fell off the face of the planet and didn't even get a crack 1,000 yards and now wants out of Miami. He was just Jimmy Butler.
Like talking like in post game after that game against the Jets, he was talking like the organization had failed him or something. It was like, this is my first time not making the playoffs. You made a face. Do you agree with that or no?
No, like that's what I agree. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, oh my gosh, like yeah, you chose to be there. I was like Tyreek Hill and his comments, but like, dude, you chose to go to Miami. You wanted a trade. You requested that you get moved out of KC, go play for the Miami Dolphins, and now you're sitting here looking like Bozo McGeezak because you didn't play up to your standard. You did not play well this year. That is just true.
Yeah, it's
like his numbers all time are great, but bro, you had a bad year.
Also, yeah, like I mean, you can choose to go somewhere and the organization can fail you, for sure. But Miami did not fail Tyreek. If Tyreek was putting up numbers and they still had this same record, similar dilemma going on, yeah, the organization would have failed him. But Tyreek was just as cheeks as everybody else, man.
It was a disappointing year. It was a disappointing year for someone who was voted the #1 player in the NFL, to the NFL top 100, and didn't even crack 1,000 yards. Like,
yeah,
bruh.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty not good.
Jay
saying
messages.
NCAA rankings and random Army football was ranked. They mean nothing. To be fair, though, I liked Army being ranked. That was kind of cool to see dope, Bryson Daly. We don't know, Jay. We have I don't know if we told you, we got the NCAA college football franchise with a guy named Leo Cooks for Army, taking them to the championship. You know, typical normal things. But I do kind of agree. At a certain point, rankings are just not really a telltale sign of a good team. All the time.
I think in college football, I mean, like, yeah, you can in college football, the talent is so much more saturated onto like 6 teams. So that's why the college football playoff has been so bad. But in college basketball, different story. There's still like you'll get like a random ass amazing player who's an absolute bucket playing for like New Mexico State, and your team just can't shut him down on any given night, and that player alone can make it a close game. So I think, like, I mean, and also in the SEC, you're kidding me? Our strength of schedule is insane. You know, like
who have you played outside of like? Because I looked at your schedule. You did not look like you played any strong.
I'm just saying we have beaten 2 top 25 teams by more than 15. So.
Whatever, man. I think if you don't lose to Vanderbilt, because you're gonna have Kentucky and Auburn, so I'm sorry, you're gonna get exposed as frauds. That's okay, but you know.
Dude, oh my God, I can't wait to call you after we beat Kentucky on Saturday, because
okay.
Jay says, Army is my local college team. It was awesome to see them ranked, but they played nobody. Yeah, when they ended up basically,
yeah,
what
was
it?
It
was
the
plank. They were placing their head on the guillotine when they stepped into Notre Dame.
Yeah. Also, Bryson Daly just being like the way they run their offense is all just pretty much only running. Really, it's just taking advantage of what athleticism Bryson Daly had.
Yeah, it is. It is shocking how Army still hasn't changed its playbook. Like, I would love to know the reasoning for that.
It's because they're Army, dude. I think that's just the reason.
But like,
they got their.
They're Army, but like, say I got hired as head coach and I'd like decide to implement an air raid offense instead of like the crazy wishbone stuff that they do. Like, what would happen? Would I be like dishonorably discharged? Like, what are they
You
gonna
might be.
what are
They
gonna
they
do?
might say get out of there. You know, they might say, "Oh, you're done."
Need to run the ball. But not Army was
Well, I
winning
guess.
national championships like 80 years ago, man, with the same playbook, I think. Like, I don't think their playbook in the history of college football has ever drastically changed. And it's like, why?
Uh, you could argue that. I feel like there's like a lot of schools that are gonna feel that way.
You can Jay says you can throw a grenade, you can throw a football.
It brings a whole new meaning to dropping bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Air raid offense, baby. Uh,
Oh my
surprise
gosh.
of the year.
Okay.
This my surprise of the year, the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, look at this. Look at these guys, man. Coming into this year, the whole narrative coming into this year with the Minnesota Vikings was that regardless, they're a project team. I remember I didn't really want to take Justin Jefferson because, it's like, oh, he's going to have J.J. McCarthy throwing to him. Like, it's not that I wouldn't have taken him if he was the only option, but it's like I wanted other guys over him in fantasy, like A.J. Brown.
Like
Jamar
Brees
Chase.
Hall.
Or Brees Hall, literally. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I would have taken Brees Hall.
You were thinking about it. You were thinking about it at number 2. I know you were.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't.
Thought.
Thankfully, if I did, the season would have been very, 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 very different.
The season would have ended the same way, though, with you not making any money.
God, don't get me going, Philip White. When I get that green screen, I'm making a video of, I'm going to tell the story of my fantasy football team.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. But, yeah, dude, the Vikings. Freaking, obviously, Sam Darnold cooking, despite, the loss last week. And they're currently the 5 seed, right? And they're going to play the Rams.
That is true. They're going to go play the LA Rams.
Yeah. So, just look at that Vikings defense has exceeded expectations. Freaking Van Ginkel has emerged as one of the great. Was he a linebacker or defensive end? Defensive end.
He's a little more of a linebacker.
Van Ginkel. He was not on my radar nearly in the way he is now.
Bro, he always been on my radar.
I don't know. Van Ginkel's way better than I thought he was.
He was on my radar back in Miami. He had a friend of.
But was he on your radar in the capacity that he is today?
He's definitely better, but I definitely had him. I knew what kind of guy he was. We had a friend who was a Dolphins fan, so we'd watch Dolphins games, and we'd call him the Gink. It sounds really bad to say, but that was his name. That was our short. Call him the Gink, which basically was actually, if we looked up the word, it's it means like you're a fool. But this was no fool. This was Andrew Van Ginkel making. I think he had a block kick against the Patriots. He would get a couple. I think he had a touchdown that year for Miami. And when he got paid by the Vikings, I said that's a get. Because I don't think they paid him an insane amount of money either. So they got him for a quality price. And he's going to be a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But the season that he is having is more impressive than I thought. His ceiling, he proved to me, was higher than I even thought it was.
Yeah, to me it just seems like everybody on the Vikings surprised me this year, man. Aaron Jones, low-key was expecting a fall off. I mean, maybe he did a little bit, but he played his role, He did his thing.
Well.
He did the Aaron Jones thing, and it just worked so well. Surprised the heck out of me. Philip White, what's your surprise of the year?
So, here's the thing. There's a player here that is the correct, is my answer. But I'm going to throw out some honorable, is the right answer. I have a player. But I have some honorable mentions, right? Okay. I could say Bo Nix, huge surprise for me, getting Denver to the playoffs, playing very good football. Jaden Daniels being as good as he was, and the Commanders getting 12 wins. That was a big surprise. It was a welcome surprise to see the Commanders being that good.
Heck yeah.
I normally think of surprise in a good way, right? Not really as a bad way. That's appointment award. But I give it to the man who deserves it. It's Sam Darnold. It's Sam Darnold. What he's done for Minnesota. You go into the year thinking, okay, J.J. McCarthy's hurt. Okay, so now we have to start Sam Darnold basically the whole year, unless he's really bad. And then Jordan Addison went down. I'm thinking, man. And then T.J. Hawkins isn't fully healthy yet. What are the Vikings gonna do? They're probably gonna get like 5 wins this year. They're not gonna be great. And then he just starts 5-0, and then just goes on. Just overall went on a great tear. I think there were a couple of bad games in there, but for the most part, if you told me that you were gonna get the production out of this kind of production out of Sam Darnold this year, I would have called you crazy. There was one guy who was like predicting the Vikings schedule, and he had them at like 15-2. This was before the year even started, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy knew it all along. I mean, it wasn't 15-2; they finished 14-3, but Sam Darnold has been incredibly impressive, and you can argue it's great weapons and whatever. But if you said even with those weapons, you didn't think Darnold was going to put up the numbers that he did, and Sam has sort of there's still like I would say, what would I call it? I guess sort of like a stigma with him, like, oh, he's still, because I think this playoff game is going to mean a lot for him based on how people see him going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But the season he's had, I think, has been incredible, and it definitely, I don't know. I'm a fan of how Sam played this year. Took off a lot of doubters.
Me too, man. I love Sam Darnold. I also shook off a lot of doubters.
What do you mean?
You
What doubters did you shake off?
I don't know. You just said, and he also shook off a lot of doubters, and I was like, I did too, man.
Who doubted you?
I was talking about Sam Darnold, but dude, all those doubters, man. Like
Kirk Cousins to Jay.
You Mississippi State.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see. You'll have to wait till Saturday to see if those doubters get shook off. That doubter being me.
That's true. Well, and until the end of tonight, because you were saying that Vandy's gonna beat us, but we're up 11 at halftime. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's the second half.
Sam Darnold is Kirk Cousins 2.0. Jay says, I can see it.
I think Sam is a little more athletic. I definitely think that he has like the Kirk Cousins quality, where he might get paid and then just be like kind of average. But overall, I think when you look at Kirk never really feels as mobile as Sam. Sam will probably turn it over like more. Like he'll make some bad like throws. But I think like the athleticism wise, I think he's more of like a Dak. I'd say he's more of like when Dak was playing, and he's like Dak in the way where he's gonna get paid, but he's got a little more mobility to him. That's my take. I mean, very similar, but still in the Kirk Cousins. Like really,
I think he's
there was
better than Dak.
There was a meme going, like there was at one point where like you could pretty much just describe half of the quarterbacks in the league as a version of Kirk Cousins. They're probably right.
Yeah.
Like there was Jimmy Garoppolo was handsome Kirk Cousins. You had like Ryan Tannehill, who was bad Kirk Cousins, or just Kirk Cousins. There was a lot of that going around. The Kirk Cousins.
I think Sam Darnold is better Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I hope so. Because I don't want to see Kirk Cousins really touch a football field after what he did this year.
After what he did to what?
Atlanta this year, after Kirk Cousins did that to Atlanta and just played like Jakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not great.
Play of the year.
All right. I think this is the last one. The play of the year.
This is the last award.
This is the final one to close out.
Indeed. My play of the year. You got the man Jaden Daniels right here. A la LSU.
So here you go. He's got hit throughout the rest of the game.
This play kicked off. You see Chicago. The Chicago Bears are 4-2 here. They did not win another game for the rest of the season. Jay, you just said Cousins to the Jets. Is that real?
No, I think that's what should happen.
Oh, nah, I don't want him.
Let me check my phone.
Ain't
no way.
What? You're kidding.
Holy crap. Atlanta sending Cousins, plans to trade Kirk Cousins at the end of the season to the New York Jets for a second and Devontae Adams. I made that up, by the way. I don't know.
Oh my god, man! I guess it makes sense because like I knew the trade deadline already happened, but like, oh man,
dude, that's the I had you for a second, keeping you on your toes
totally
there.
had me. I was like processing it. I didn't know if I liked it or not. But Kirk Cousins for Devontae in a second. I would take that.
That's crazy.
Wait, no.
Atlanta fleeces you in that trade.
I'm sorry. I want the second. I would do Kirk Cousins and a second for Devontae Adams.
No, then I think you're winning that trade. I don't think Atlanta would make it. I don't know if Atlanta would make that trade.
Yeah, it's just old guys, and it's hard to trade picks when old guys are involved in a trade.
It's true. That is very true. We know what this play is.
What'd you say?
They won one game after this, and it was the last game of the year.
Oh, so they won in Week 18. Oh, they beat the Packers. Best rivalry in football, man.
Ain't no way that's the best rivalry in football. They needed Christian Watson to get hurt. They needed Christian Watson to get hurt, and then Jordan Love to come out of the game for Malik Willis. Ain't no way.
Look, man, Malik Willis is pretty good.
Oh my gosh, stop that. Stop that slander. Stop that lying. That's not real. He is not all that.
110% real.
Oh, so you'd take him on the Jets then?
Yeah.
Okay. You're quoted saying you would like Malik Willis on the Jets next year.
I mean, why not? What do we have to
Because he's not him, bro.
I don't know, man. He looked pretty good in the couple games he played when Jordan Love went down.
Oh my gosh, he played the Colts, bro.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
And the Titans, Colts and Titans.
Pretty good.
That's enough. That's enough for you.
I mean,
no wonder the Jets are struggling. That's crazy.
Million. I don't want to give him $50 million or anything, but.
So you want him as a starter next year?
I don't know. I would like to have him in the quarterback room and see how he does, but it's like him versus Tyrod Taylor in the battle for QB1. Like, what are we doing here?
Why don't you draft? Why don't you draft a real quarterback?
Well, how about we freaking make sure we have an offensive line that works first.
That's also true.
Competent.
Maybe you should not be paying Tyron Smith $20 million for just 1 year of nothing.
Yeah, it was not good. But on the bright side, literally anything will be better than this year for the Jets.
Dude, you better hope.
Chat, clip that.
You better hope.
Because a year from now, man, I swear to God, if it gets worse, ugh, gross. But Phil, what was your player of the year?
Oh, I had the same one. I had the Hail Mary. Yeah, it was pretty obviously the Hail Mary. I couldn't not.
Yeah, that was the first one that came to mind.
It could not be the Hail Mary. It was because it said one season skyrocketing one way and the other one downhill.
Wait, oh yeah.
Like
the Commanders were on the up and
completely opposite directions for those two franchises.
Yeah, and that was I love seeing a game-winning Hail Mary, man. I come from behind Hail Mary, game-winning.
Dude, do you remember the other Hail Mary that happened this year?
Yeah, man. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you get to see. You had a nice year.
Yeah, but we lost. We lost, man. It was at halftime.
I can't say y'all had a nice year with a straight face. That's crazy.
Aaron Rodgers, he has no vibes to him, man. I remember, I saw him complete that, and I wasn't even that excited. I don't know why. I was just like, all right, cool.
Cool.
It was just so disappointing. Not the Hail Mary itself, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I can't wait for him to be gone. But yeah, that was the.
That was the final award.
The first annual NFL award show and season recap. We'll probably delve into a season recap. I mean, I'm thinking, Phil, we'll have some further conversation about this. But I'd imagine next, over the coming weeks, we'll do even more stuff recapping the season. Yeah. But Phil, Are we doing a show on Saturday and Sunday this week for the wild card games?
We can do both. It really depends. I mean, we might depends on how long we go Saturday, because if we go long enough on Saturday and end up talking about the games on Sunday, we may not need to do one on Sunday, but we can do just the one on Saturday, or we can do both. But I'm down for either. And the good thing news about the one on Saturday is it doesn't have to start as early.
Yeah, I think since we start 2.5 hours before the 1 o'clock games, typically we can start at 2:30 on Saturday.
Okay.
Sweet. Y'all heard it
maybe
here
like
first.
maybe closer to 2. I'm thinking for the 2:30, just in case we run into tech difficulties and stuff, because you're moving to a new place, so we might want to make sure we get everything situated.
Oh, good thinking. Good thinking.
We'll set like a
a
hard start for 2:30. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one show to speak. I am excited. For also one thing we should do, I think we should go over the head coaching firing, because there are six spots open after the firings that have taken place.
Are we gonna do this right now, or is that gonna be planned for later? I feel like this should be.
We can. Do we want to wait, or should we do it now? I feel like we should wait, because this was really just the award show. We can discuss. Yeah, I mean, by then they might even be filled, so that'll give us even more stuff to talk about there.
Yeah.
But that'll be next time. That'll be next week at some point, probably next Tuesday. So the 14th.
Tuesday.
I was about to say Valentine's Day. But it's not February yet. It's January. Let's say, it's the 14th. It's
Valentine's Day. They moved it up a month. Hey.
Look at that. Hey.
Jay says, let's get it. Yes, Jay. We will see you.
Yes, sir.
Potentially. We will be back.
Thank you for tuning in as always, Jay.
On Saturday. Thank you for watching again. And, we're going to, dude, Steelers-Ravens, 8 o'clock on Saturday night. We got to get Eric in here, right? At least for a little bit of it.
I feel like, we got to get Eric and David. I'd love for them to be on the show for beginning of the season. It is early in the month, so maybe they're still recuperating to begin the year. But if they are available, that'll be a big one.
Indeed. But have a splendid night to all of you. I'm going to go watch Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt. I recommend that you join me in that. And, any parting messages, Philip White?
Well, we all know Mississippi State's just going to be one and done in the March Madness bracket. So it's a tough thing to admit. But it is probably the reality that we will see later in the March Madness terminology of things, as they say.
I have been watching Mississippi State football and basketball since before I could speak, man. These games had me bawling my eyes out when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old.
17, 18, 19, 20 years
17,
old.
20, 21, 22, 23. Like, dude, I have my tissues ready because if we lose tonight, that's tragic. But I say
to Vanderbilt
with the utmost confidence, this is the best Mississippi State team I've ever seen play. Best Mississippi State basketball team. Best Mississippi State team I've ever seen play goes to our women's basketball team that snapped UConn's winning streak. Yeah. Our team puts on a show, man. I want to try and get Josh Hubbard or Cam Matthews on the show, man. You know how sick that would be? Maybe.
I don't know, man. I might have to be kind of hating on him, bro. I might have to be kind of like, yo, I think you're a little over your britches, so to speak.
We'll do like 3-on-3 Jeopardy. It'll be me, Josh Hubbard, and Cam Matthews against like you, Harry, and Chris, and we'll do Mississippi State trivia.
It's all Mississippi State trivia? Yeah, we lose.
All of it.
That's dumb. That's not fun at all.
That'd be
Chris
so
would
cool,
quit.
Man.
Chris would quit in 2 seconds. He would just see it's just Mississippi State basketball, Mississippi State women's basketball, Mississippi State football, Mississippi State golf.
Mississippi State up 13 with 11 minutes to go, man. All right.
Wow.
I'm gonna go.
Vanderbilt's
watch this
gonna
game.
go on a run.
So I'm gonna
Just watch.
I got a run here, Jay. Thank you for complimenting the show, man. Always love it when you hop in the chat. And yeah, we'll be back on Saturday. All right.
For sure.
Any parting messages, Philip White?
Yeah, actually. So 10 years ago, little story, the Pittsburgh Steelers lost a playoff game at home to the Baltimore Ravens. They were the 3 seed and the Ravens were the 6 seed. Now the roles are reversed. 10 years later. Ain't that just storybook if Pittsburgh beats Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? I think so. That's all.
I like that. I'll be rooting for the Steelers on Saturday, man, because I don't know. I believe that the Steelers have a better chance of beating the Chiefs than the Ravens do. I don't know why. I just feel like the Steelers can put it back together, man.
How? I don't know how you think that. That take is crazy. I think we can beat the Ravens, but beating the Chiefs, we didn't even beat them
I mean, just watch. Just watch. I feel like that was when y'all were cold. Y'all are going to turn it back on. Steelers are going to turn it back on, but we will pick this conversation up right where we left off pretty much on Saturday.
Alrighty. I like it. I like it.
Go Bengals. Kick the Broncos out of the playoffs. And if you have parlays built, or if you are doing some weird playoff fantasy, or your team is in the playoffs, best of luck to you, unless you're a Chiefs fan. Sorry. But yes. All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you again soon. Mwah.